The mics are hot, and so is England apparently right now, according to my friend Josh, who's out there melting away. I didn't know England could get hot. Just a weird, weird state of affairs. But here in Middle Earth, it's quite cool. In fact, it's going to get a little colder because the winter is settling in, just as the players are about to get going on a little journey. So, the weather never cooperates in those times. But speaking of my players, I would like you to meet them as we thank you for joining us here tonight in this part 3 of the Curse of Kelsaro, Lord of the Rings adventure. Speaking of my players, here they are. Look all around me. By magic, they appear. What's up, gang? How's everybody doing? Humidity is 90%. Wow. Never moved to Montreal. I hope everyone's doing fine. Hope everyone's doing good. Let's go around the table here a little bit and give us a little bit of who you are, who you're playing tonight. And we will start by bringing Josh in before he melts away and disappears completely under his desk.
I'm melting. Hello, I'm Josh. I am very hot at the moment, and I will be playing Carlin, son of Thruk, who is a wandering dwarf champion.
Thank you very much. I hope you get some relief from the weather soon, mein Freund. Thank you so much for being here and for joining us here again with your dwarf. Next up, we have Arya. How you doing, Rachel?
Hey everyone, I'm Arya Galaxy. Super excited to not melt, I guess. I think I'm losing the analogy here. But anyway, I am playing the very hot-headed young adventurer Lan Hardybow from Bree, and super excited to get into a bar brawl with all of you.
Bar brawl. Who says there's a bar brawl? Oh, the bar with all the brawlers in it.
Yeah, it might have been just a misunderstanding, but hopefully we're going to get to
I go to all the trouble of putting a bar there and a bunch of brawlers and we're not going to have a bar brawl? I'm just saying.
Well,
law of economy of effort,
I mean, you've pulled the wool over our eyes before, so who's to say?
Never. I've never. Don't accuse me of things like that. Thank you so much for joining us again, Arya, and for making baseless accusations. I appreciate both those things. Next up, we have Alex, who is in Middle Earth. Apparently, we're now with the Fellowship. Look at him.
Yeah. Quickish Google search for backgrounds that I could find. So, my name's Alex. I am playing Faron. He is a Ranger of the North and a Warden. So, also excited to see where this potential bar escapade goes.
Just wait till the fire elementals get summoned in. Thank you for joining us again, Alex. Appreciate you very much. And last but far from least, Ashley, the Minnesota Muse.
Hey, everybody. I'm Ashley, Minnesota Muse 99 on Twitter, and I am playing for you tonight Aelwind Silversteel, an elf with light blonde hair, blue eyes, very tall, very thin and gangly, and good with a bow. So, and also I am ready to melt. I would love to be hot and melting right now and like outside and on the beach. That sounds amazing. It's been like rainy or smoky or cloudy every time I have not been working for like the last week.
When does the good weather start in Minnesota?
Like June, July, and August is summer.
June's already almost gone.
Yeah, right?
Yep. It's crazy. Craziness. Thank you, Ashley, for being back here and joining us again. I am, of course, the Bleakseason on Twitter and all the socials. My producer tonight, as with every night that we're playing here on Thursday nights, is the incomparable Andy. Thank you so much, Andy, for being here and fixing those last-minute sound issues. Always great relief for me to know that you're there behind the desk, like the man behind the curtain in the Wizard of Oz. Music tonight, as with other nights, is from Tabletop Audio. Check them out if you want. Awesome Awesome library of tunes, many of them for free on their website, also on their Patreon. A lot of variations on our songs. We love them and use them here very much. The game we are playing tonight is Lord of the Rings Role-Playing 5e by Free League Publishing. Another great product by the overachievers over at Free League. And I will be featuring tonight, in fact, very, very shortly here, a map by our good friend Solution, who's doing both fantasy and sci-fi maps. The links should be popping up. Check out his website, his Patreon. He's got tons and tons of good stuff, always putting out stuff all the time. He's a really stand-up bloke. Like this week, he sent out the... this is what I like about Solution. He sent out a link every week. Every month you get a free map if you're a member of the Patreon. He sent out the link for it, and the link didn't work. And so he got the new link fixed after a couple of days, and then as a sorry, he sent out 5 or 6 sets of free maps to everybody. He's just like, feel really bad, guys. So, you know, he's a stand-up bloke. Stand-up bloke is our friend Spear. Who else? Who else? Yes, everyone at Guild Spear hanging out in our chat, playing our games. We love each and every one of you. Thank you so much. If you want to join us, the information is right there. Come in on Discord, reach us on Twitter, and come, you know, share coffee memes with us. We absolutely do nothing but share coffee memes because that's life.
Ooh,
Coffee
that's how we
is life.
start our day.
That's how we start, maintain, and finish our day. And finally, if you would like to help out the players, you can get involved in the game by donating bits. Every 100 bits you donate gets a player of your choice an advantage. They might need him in the bar brawl. You never know. Never know how these things are going to go. All right. I think that's all the housekeeping out of the way. Let us cast our minds back to last week when you had traveled after your friend Cal had returned to town and told you about some curse he was under. He had asked you to go for him and meet a elven woman at a place called the Forsaken Inn. Some days of travel out of Bree. You had traveled over there. You had a couple of interesting encounters along the way. Some nice people, and then there was a freaky one with some birds who kind of gave you the heebie-jeebies. You met a dwarven merchant, and this lady seemed to be kind of sweet on, who gave you, amongst other things, a sword for helping out the dwarf after he had broken his leg in an attack by wolves, which was Faron had noted kind of peculiar, as they didn't usually roam this far out along the east road. And you eventually made your way to the Forsaken Inn, which turns out to be a total hive of scum and villainy. An old, decrepit, crumbling inn hidden away in some forest of naked, gnarly trees. And the patrons are all of the same kind of, you know, barely repressed hostility breed. And you certainly felt coming in that you were not where you were supposed to be. Like, this is not the kind of place that you would choose to hang out at. But the person you were here to meet, one Arianth Merendiel, had in fact been here waiting for you. You approached her, and upon seeing you come close to her, she had stood up and placed a hand on her sword and asked you if you were ready for a fight. Am I forgetting anything? I don't think so. You are in this, you can turn to the Owlbear. If you wish, you are in the Forsaken Inn right now. You are surrounded by men of very dubious disposition. All of them sort of, at this point, kind of paying close attention to what's going on in the corner as Arianth has stood up and put a hand to her sword, and a few of you have approached her table. You can sense the tension sort of rising, this sort of electrical current, this feeling of excitement rushing through the patrons of the place. And as Arianth asks the question, are you ready for a fight? You kind of get the feeling that maybe she thinks you're here to do her harm or something to that effect. She is definitely kind of, she's not looking at the rest of the bar. She's looking at the lot of you who, keep in mind, she was supposed to meet this one guy, Kel, and now there's 4 other rough adventurers who kind of have walked in on her. So she seems to be sort of on the defensive and ready for just about anything. What would you like to do?
Oh, no. We're not the entertainment.
She sort of takes a look at all of you. And then she looks at you again, Aylwin, and she goes, have we met before?
We have. I believe, and sorry, jog my memory, Chris. She's from where I'm from?
Yeah, she's from where you're from. She works for one of the captains of the leader of your nation is Kieran the Shipwright, and she works for a guy who works for him, basically, a sort of a, an agent out in the field. And so you had come, you met each other sort of briefly, perhaps once or twice at, in various situations, especially outside of land where you come from, since both of you, live outside of the borders of the Elvish land. So I wouldn't say that you've, hung out and partied together, but you've certainly sort of crossed paths enough to recognize each other.
You worked with Kieran, the shipwright. I'm Aylwin Silversteel. Have you heard of me?
I've heard the name Silversteel. So you're not here to kill me, then?
No, we're just here to talk.
The Faron and Talrim, as you're a little bit further behind you, can see that everyone's kind of tensing. All the thugs throughout the bar, everyone's hands are slowly creeping towards weapons. You can feel like the tension sort of rising.
Calm down.
And then you hear the bartender say, "Oi, what's this then? What are you doing? You know the rules. Ain't no fighting in here. Come on now. If you want to sit down and have yourself a beer, you sit down, you have a beer. If you want to get up to some shenanigans, you take it outside. You don't want me going out back and getting the troll now, do you?"
No, sir.
Then he says that you see everyone just sort of resheaths their knives and their swords and sort of slowly go back to their drinks, and the din of conversation sort of picks up again. Well, I suggest we don't tarry here too long then. Perhaps we could speak on the road. I take it you're here from Kel.
We are.
Hmm.
He has gotten himself into a bit of trouble.
All right. Well, the whole point of meeting him here was because this is a place where they don't tolerate violence, and they wouldn't be looking for him because he'd be completely crazy to want to come here and be suicidal. So, well, no use in hanging here anymore. Let us step lively before they decide to get the troll from out back.
All right. Well, where would you like to travel towards?
I have a destination in mind. Let's go. So she'll pick up a bag on the floor and put it on her shoulder, and sort of keeping an eye on people. She will walk out by the front.
Aaron, to go. She holding
Yeah.
4 beers at this point.
Just drinks them all.
Lan leans over to Carlum and is like, I kind of wanted to fight, a little bit, though. I'm a little bit let down.
I don't think we would have fared too well if we had fought. Maybe we can pick a fight with someone on the road.
Really? You would do that for me? Oh, you're the best boss ever.
Yes.
And then he skips off with her to-go beer.
Will you stop spilling it on me as you skip?
Oh, sorry.
Very wet.
Outside, you find Aranthe waiting for you, and as you approach, she goes, "I'm sorry for all that. I really was expecting Kel, and when I saw the lot of you come in, I thought perhaps Kel had been taken by the ones who were pursuing him and had given up our meeting point, and so you were a group that had been sent to fetch me, so to speak. Is he okay? Is he still? You said he got into a spot of trouble, but is he still with us?"
Right. Well, remember, as you said, there were some people that he was in trouble with, and you thought they might catch up to them. Well, they did. Thankfully, we believe he's still alive at this point. However, he is in a very bad way. And he could not travel.
Has he told you everything?
I think so.
Do you have the item in question with you?
It's somewhere safe.
Fair enough.
Can you tell us a little bit more? He believed he was under a curse?
I can't tell you more. I do have to ask you all a question. First, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Arianth Merendiel. I work as Elwind here suggested for Círdan the Shipwright, who you know is the Lord of the Elves in his part. You're from Bree, I take it? Visited Bree recently.
Born and raised.
It's a very quaint little town. I know Aelwind. The rest of you are?
Carlin.
You can call me Lan.
And I'm Faron.
And we all work with Aelwind here.
Very good. And friends
We're
of Kel,
wardens, back in Bree. Or
Ah.
sorry, was it Bree? It's been so long now, I can't remember where we're from.
Yeah, Bree was Kel.
Aelwind, we left yesterday. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it all
it was-
blurs together with my many years as an elf.
It was a
When you
few
get
days
to be
ago.
over 200, it's just like one run-on day.
Wow.
And you are friends of Kel.
I just look at Lan.
Yeah, he's my childhood best friend, for sure.
Very
And he
odd
would say
for
the
me.
same about me. I'm 60% sure.
It is quite positive that he still has people who consider him friends. The curse he's under, one of the main, I guess, effects of the curse is that it promotes mistrust between the person who is cursed and those about him. I'm sorry, I'm hearing like a really loud kind of whistling noise. I don't know, I turned off my mic and it's not me, so I don't know. No? Okay, maybe it's just there, now it's gone. Weird. Anyways. It's quite loud actually. I don't know who it is, but that wasn't me this time. There, it's back.
I
Might
noticed
be
that
me.
Alex muted his screen, and you said it was gone, and then he unmuted it, and you said it was back. Is it gone?
Yeah.
It's Alex.
Alex! We found the culprit, Alex. No whey bread for you.
But I baked so much.
I made so much of it. Years worth. Too little bread. Says that as one of the major aspects of the curse is that it promotes distrust. So to see that he is still loved and has close friendships with people it's very heartening. It means that perhaps the curse hasn't taken solid hold. We have a little bit of a ways to walk, so Perhaps we shall set off and I will explain on the way. I should ask if you are willing to do still a little bit more for your friend. The relieving him of this curse will require a little bit further travel and a little bit further difficulties for you, but is this something you're willing to do? I assume he would have done it for himself, but since you are here as his agents now.
Yes, in for a penny, in for a pound, right?
Well, that's what they say in Lake Town.
We're also very concerned because he's been gravely injured, and so we need to destroy the weapon that has injured him. So that is also on our minds.
Right, and fortunately and unfortunately, there's a good chance that we're being followed by that group. So, the fortunate thing is, once they find us, we can perhaps destroy the blade that stabbed him. Unfortunately, we'll have to fight.
Well, we'll see how that shakes out. Didn't know anything about this wounded his blade, of course, but if he was hit by a cursed weapon of some sort, it is possible that he may be in some trouble. But if you need the blade, then perhaps it is a good thing if they're all falling. I would certainly assume that they are. These are not people that give up very easily. So as you start walking and kind of are traveling in a generally sort of southern area, going just a little bit further east than you were before, now there's typing sounds. What's going on tonight? Everything's
Sorry, that was me.
Alex!
Alex, strike two. I don't know how much Kel has told you of what he did. He, unfortunately, he and the men he worked for stole a circlet from an old elven ruin. The ruin was a tower that used to belong to an elf sorcerer named Galatine. Galatine long ago fell under the sway of shadow without realizing it. The circlet that Galatine had once belonged to a dark wizard, a servant of shadow named Faron Kel. And yes, I think you can notice the interesting surname of this sorcerer. The sorcerer served Sauron in the day. His tower was besieged a long time ago by Galatine and her warriors, and after they slew him, one of her warriors took the circlet. When she realized this, she ordered him to surrender it, but under the sway of shadow, he refused, and Galatine was forced to slay him. His blood sealed a curse that had apparently been whispered by Faron Kel moments before his death. This curse was that whoever possessed the circlet would see the world around them constantly tainted by shadow and would become distrustful and distrusted of all, driving friends and family away. Galatine herself fell under this curse. In time, she found herself living alone in a forlorn tower. One day she disappeared and left only the crumbling ruins of her tower behind. Your friend Kel was part of an expedition to that tower that uncovered much treasure, amongst it the circlet. From what Kel has told me, from the moment he saw it, he coveted it. His boss, whoever was the leader of the expedition, I guess, wanted to keep it. When I showed up, having tracked it, trying to retrieve it, Kel took the opportunity of the chaos of that moment to take the circlet and run away. In time, I guess he saw the curse afflicting him. He did try to reach out to find someone who could break the curse, and, well, we managed to speak somewhat about it, and I told him that if he brought it, the circlet, that I might be able to help him, which is when I last saw him before he traveled back to Bree. His former employer, the tomb robber, Etheron Bladebreaker, is probably the one who is after him right now.
Is there any benefit to the circlet? It just, whoever has it becomes bane to everyone around, and everybody just wants it.
The idea, I think, is that in the time when the shadow was over the land, it probably brought some power to someone like Thaz and Kel. Now that the shadow has receded and is no longer present, though I'm sure you, like me, sometimes feel a bit of a shade passing by. Perhaps it is, for now, bereft of other values, but it certainly does still bear the curse. Yes, young lady?
Sorry, Miss Elf lady, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
I'm just a small town person. So, and I know you said this a while ago, but what's a Sauron?
What we often refer to as the Shadow is a dark power in the East, a sorcerer who, for quite a long time, created havoc and sowed death throughout the lands.
Sounds bad.
It was certainly very bad.
A legendary bad guy.
He's like gone now, though, right? Like,
he was defeated. Whether or not he is completely gone, well, something like Sauron is more than just a wizard or a being. It is a force of nature. Whether or not these forces of nature can truly ever be said to be gone, what we do know is that the tower has been inactive for many, many years, and while there is still in some lands evidence of lingering shadows, for now at least, it seems that we are free of them. But Elwyn will certainly be able to confirm that for those of us who tend to live a little longer than others, we often see the cyclical nature of life and the way things progress and change and come back to where they were. So I don't mean to be a bird of ill omen, but
well, this seems quite above my pay grade, but
no, it is quite above most of our pay grades, to be honest. But helping
You're
Kel
getting paid?
yeah,
Kel should not
get
be
paid
beyond our means.
to do our jobs. Wait, Carlum, are we not getting paid for this?
I don't remember a payment being brought up, so I don't think so.
Yes, we're only being paid to be wardens, and that's in Bree, and we're not in Bree anymore.
Oh no. My mom's gonna be so pissed.
I hope you're not quite as mercenary as you make it sound.
Well,
No,
you just
no,
tell
like, I'm-
Kel if we get back and he's still alive that he owes you a week's worth of favors.
That sounds good. Yeah, I'll just. I mean, not like he's gonna use it if he's, running from the law.
Or dead.
Or dead, yes. Your mother is going to be even more pissed when she finds out that the promotion that we lied to her about is actually fake.
Nah, we can make that happen. Let's talk. Let's circle back.
We'll just say that you got demoted by the time we got back.
You know that things like lies and greed are the first baby step towards a slide to inevitable corruption.
Yeah, but is it like a bad lie if you're lying to protect someone?
Oh.
Is it corruption if it's funny?
That's a really good point, Aylwyn. Is it corruption if it's funny? I'd actually like to hear the answer to this one.
I don't think I've ever met any sort of corruption that I would have deemed to be humorous in any way, shape, or form.
Well, just stick with us for a couple days and you'll see.
She her gaze kind of lingers on you a little bit as you say that. And
Anyway, who's hungry? I found some nuts on the side of the road.
On the side of the road. Well, you try them first.
Okay. I mean, I'm pretty good at it. nature stuff, so I think they're fine.
Well, if you're still interested in helping your friend Kel, it will require that you take a little bit of a journey further south from here. I'm certain you noticed in my little recounting of Kel's difficulties the similarities between his name and the name of the original wizard. The name seems to have some curses are a strange, often fickle thing. Many moving parts, many differences in the meaning of the words, and so on and so forth. The curse seems to have latched on to the name Kel somehow, and perhaps this is why it has had such an impact on your friend. There is, however, another who bears that name. Her name is Violet Kel. She is the last known living descendant of Thazan Kel, the original creator of the curse. It seems that the curse that Thazan passed on into his circlet and into your friend Kel stayed in his blood by all, according to all the information that I've been able to gather. Violet, who is the great-granddaughter of Thazan, has had a very difficult life and now lives isolated and alone in the South Barrows. My belief is that in order to help your friend Kel, the curse must also be ended in the bloodline of the one who created the curse. I feel that if you are able to reach Violet and in some way, shape, or form breach this veil of mistrust that encircles her and bring her to trust you, and you in turn find a way to trust her, that might be enough to not break the curse thoroughly, at least temporarily lift it, at which point it would be safe for me to take the circlet from Kel and take it back to my people, who can then destroy it. At that point, it should free Kel from its clutches.
All right. So we just need to convince her to stop the curse or earn her trust, and then, like, we don't have to kill her or, like...
No, in fact, I think killing her would be a horrible mistake.
Okay, just checking.
I even think that mentioning the curse to her would probably only strengthen her resolve not to trust you. You have to find a way to offer assistance and earn her trust. And in doing that, I feel the curse may be broken. I unfortunately speak of experience because I did meet Violet once when I first tried to help Kel, and at the first mention of the curse and of her great-grandfather's misdeeds, she turned very darkly, and I do not think would welcome me anymore anywhere in the vicinity, certainly not give me her trust.
All right, so the power of friendship will break the curse.
Well, at least lift it long enough that we may be able to save Kel from the clutches of the item. Violet lives in Sorrowfields, which is in the South Downs. Travel there will take quite a few days, but I think perhaps I might be able to help with that. And as she says that, you come up over the road and you see a little side road that goes down into a valley south of the East Road, and you see beyond a little farm. There's a little farmhouse. There is what appears to be stables and several horses or ponies in the corral. As you approach, you notice two halflings One is an older halfling with a bald head and a white beard, and he's wearing a white, not a white, but a leather apron, and he appears to be working at a forge making perhaps horseshoes or something like that. The other one is a little younger with a mop of brown hair, and he is currently moving hay with a pitchfork, feeding what appear to be a number of incredibly beautiful ponies, the likes of which you've rarely seen. And Bree is renowned for its ponies, but the ones you see here are at least Bree's equals. They are beautiful, golden colored. They're not really golden colored, but the color of their coat when it is hit by the sun seems to shine as if it was sort of golden. And as you approach the younger halfling, the one who has got the pitchfork and is feeding some hay, looks up and sees you, and at first seems a little bit kind of, on the defensive, but then seems to recognize Arianth as she waves to him, and he looks up excitedly and he runs over to his friend, and she says, "Have you ever ridden a gold-winged pony before?"
Answered if I have.
But they look like they're the perfect size for you, boss man. I know you were worried about that.
My friends Harwood and Tussle raise some truly magnificent ponies here, and, well, they just so happen to owe me a few favors, so I think I might be able to persuade them to lend you a few of their ponies for the journey ahead. As you approach, she waves at them. She's like, "Harwood, Tussle, how are the both of you?" The younger halfling comes running up and he's like, "Oh, it's so nice to see you again, Arianth. So nice to see you. How are you doing? Who are your friends?" It's like, "These are friends of mine from Bree. Here we have Lan, Faron, Calrum, and Aelwind." "Oh, it's so nice to meet you. My name's Tussle." The other halfling's coming over, wiping his hands on her rag. "I'm Harwood. Every time you come here, Arianth, it gives me an ulcer, I gotta tell you." "Oh, he doesn't mean it. He's very happy to see you. He's just a little grumpy. You know how he gets." I know he's a very grumpy little fellow." And she looks a little bit at Faron, who hasn't really spoken since you met, and she goes, "I think perhaps he'll get along with this one here." "Is it true? Are you grumpy also, sir?"
I have my days.
Land's cracking up.
"Well, Harwood has his days, well, pretty much every day of the week." "You're talking nonsense now, Tussle. What can we do for you, Arianth, this time?" "Well, if you recall, you do owe me a favor, and my friends here are in need of swift steed to engage in a quest for me. I was hoping you would be willing to lend them perhaps 4 years." "Lend? Are they even going to bring him back? Where are they going with that? Not to Mordor or something stupid like that, I hope." "No, they're simply traveling to the South Downs. I will personally confirm that, or guarantee that he will bring them back. I happen to know the game master and know that he's not cruel enough to kill the ponies, so they will very likely make it back to your corrals." "And have you ever ridden before?" "Yeah, you might as well say so now so we can show you the basics. If you've never ridden, you're just going to hurt my beasts."
Reluctantly.
"Oh, don't worry. They're just the right height for you, sir."
Land's still just like cracking up behind everyone.
What about you there?
Pony
You're a
gonna
big
even fit Faron?
Yeah, you're a bit
How
big
tall are
there.
you?
Yeah, you need a bit. What's your biggest pony?
Well, we have Broderick. Broderick's pretty, broad. That's why we call him Broderick.
Your roundest pony.
My ponies, I'll have you know,
Fed.
my ponies, I'll have you know, are small but quite capable. You don't have to be a giant to pull off a giant's work.
It's not always about the size, it's about how you use it.
There's
Wow.
a strain of humor there that's flying quite over my head, but I'm a halfling, and that's usually what happens.
Speaking of strain, I'm gonna call my pony South Lynch after my favorite strain of pipeweed.
Oh, you're a connoisseur, are you?
Oh yeah, you betcha.
Well, let's see how much of a connoisseur you are. I'll be back. Hey, Tussle, you want to go and get a few of our... He looks at Arianth. Get 4 of the best ready. Sure thing, Harwood. And the youngest one takes off and starts separating a couple of the ponies, and the other one goes into the house for a minute, and Arianth says, do be careful with the ponies. They are very attached to them, and they are remarkable animals. They will stand you in good stead in this journey if you care for them and treat them kindly.
Oh yeah, I would never do anything to hurt South Lynch.
A South. Oh yes, the pipeweed. That's right.
South Lynch. That's what I'm gonna call my pony.
Excellent.
That's the best weed. It's made right in Brie.
You realize they probably all have names already.
That's
Yeah,
what I
that
was
doesn't.
thinking.
No, I'm
I'm sure they
gonna call
won't
him
mind.
South Lynch.
I'm sure they won't mind if you.
He'll learn it. He'll learn the name.
Eventually, Harwood comes back and he's got his pipe and he's got a little bag of tobacco with him. And he's like, "Well then, young missy, you call yourself a connoisseur. Well, let's see what you make of this." And he'll hand you the bag to stuff your pipe with.
Yep, and I'll trade him a bag of the South Lynch brand.
Nice. So you swap out.
Yeah, swap it out. Little trade.
You light up.
Oh, of
And
course.
As they're lighting up, the rest of you go to the ponies and see that they are in fact very formidable little animals. They're slightly smaller than Brie ponies, but the one that they call Broderick that they bring out of the barn seems to be quite sturdy enough, even for Faron's size there. So Tussle will very quickly put blankets over their backs and put bits and whatnot in their mouths. Meanwhile, at the well, the two of you are making smoke rings, and you find his weed is very, very strong, very pungent, and at first you're a little bit like, but the more you're smoking it, the more it kind of settles in, and you're feeling it's good. It's good. Yeah, not necessarily better than yours, but
Yeah, I have my favorite for a reason, but this is pretty good. Didn't give him all of mine. I just want to clarify.
Yeah, just
gave him a little baggie, little dime bag of it.
Tussle's like, so I take it you all know how to handle horses then. Each of them has little peculiarities, and you'll bring them out one by one, and you'll look at them and go, who do you think? Who do you think? And then one of the ponies will look at one of you, and then he'll bring the pony over, and he'll give you like their particularities. This one likes the reins to be held very loosely. This one likes a strong hand to guide him, and you'll sort of bring one to each of you and explain these little details like this. Calrum, when yours is brought to you, it's the only one that's got this really kind of dark hair, and it just kind of falls in front of its eyes. Sorry. And it kind of approaches you, and it looks at you like it's not very happy about this deal at all.
Why is it I've been given the emo pony?
It knows you're the heaviest.
You're an emo at heart.
This pony was originally trained by a dwarf a long time ago in its youth. He's a little bit older now, but still quite vigorous, and still certainly has quite a few journeys in him. And well, I think he's just kind of grown used to the comforts of the stable and the steady meals of hay and the daily brushings and so on and so forth. And he just really enjoys the comforts of home now. And get him out there a couple of days, and he'll pick right up where he used to be. Don't worry, he's still got a lot of fight left in him.
I have. Sorry, are you talking about me or the pony?
Oh, I was talking about the pony, but well, I guess if the shoe fits, not the horseshoe in this case, but the shoe.
Well, I'm sure we'll get on to swell then.
I'm certain you will. They bring you Faron Broderick, and he is much bigger. He's got these broad shoulders, and he looks like, even when he's at rest, he looks like he's moving, like he's so energetic and just so, kind of leaning forward and just sort of kind of willing to go. He says, he is very temperamental and very feisty, and you, my kind sir, seem to me to be very calm and stoic, and I think perhaps you will balance each other out quite well. He needs a strong, calm hand to keep him from going a little bit crazy. I'm sure you can handle it. And he brings you the reins. Have you ridden before? Faron?
Sorry. A little bit, but not too much. Mostly I use them for just transporting other items, carts.
Oh, these are not draft or transport horses. You just trust him. He knows what to do. Just make sure you stay calm around him, and if you bring him a little bit of your stoic presence, and just make sure he knows that things are okay, and he'll take care of the riding for you.
I think I can manage that. Thank you.
Yeah. They bring you one, Arya, and you see this one is maybe a little bit smaller. It looks a little rambunctious, but when it approaches you, it kind of stops a little bit, and then suddenly it seems a little shy.
Aw. Come here, Southland, and I'll hold up like a little carrot.
And as soon as you do that, the pony's looking kind of a little shy, and then faster than you can sort of see with your eye, it snatched the carrot and kind of run around behind you and is pushing you with its nose, and like don't be fooled. This one is very playful and likes to play pretend a lot. I think you'll get quite along with her, but
Oh yeah, we'll get along just fine.
her humors are not always what they seem.
I can relate, that's for sure. And I take another big long drawl on my pipe.
If you just be careful, if you carry any carrots or apples in your pockets, she will find them and will eat them before you realize what's going on.
Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna start picking up more carrots and apples just for her, because I don't have that many. So
Well, she'll eat everything that you can give her.
same. Am I right, Southland?
You get the munchies. Eventually, he finally brings one over to you, Elwyn. And this one's a little different also. It has this sort of very regal disposition. And whereas the others all have this kind of golden sheen to their coat, this one has a bit more of a silvery sheen, and it's got a white mane. And it kind of looks at you a little bit down its nose at first, and it sort of approaches, and you kind of stare.
I look down my nose at it back.
And then eventually
Assert your snooty dominance.
And then eventually it extends a foreleg and then bows its head a little bit. And it's like, oof, I'm glad that happened. She won't let just anyone ride her. She's very peculiar and very picky, but I guess you have the, well, whatever it is she's looking for in your lineage. She's a wonderful rider. A wonderful little pony. Just a little temperamental at times. And if you find yourself seeing her feeling a little perhaps aloof or detached, you should know that it's just her way of being. She's very, very loath to show too much affection in case that it is not returned. But I think you will be quite fine with her.
I think we'll get along just fine. I give him a little pat.
As the lot of you are prepping your ponies and getting your gear together and all that, Arianth will come to you, Aelwind, and she'll say, are you certain you don't work for Círdan either? It's very rare to find one of us out here without orders to do so. Are you just another agent I've never met before?
Wait, which one is she talking to?
Talking to you.
Oh, me. Oh. Well, we are Wardens of Bree. But, you know, when we see something that needs addressing, even if it's beyond the borders of Bree, we're the ones who would volunteer to do that.
Well, it's to your credit. I do want to tell you, though, I know, carry something with you that bears shadows, and that's fine, but you should know that one of your fellowship also carries something that calls to the shadow. You should be wary. These things, as you can now see with Kel, have a tendency to worm their way in and ensnare people.
We understand. We will do our best to get this sorted rightly.
I'm sorry I can't go with you for this leg of the journey. However, I will make my way towards Bree and will make sure that Kel is not bothered by any others who might leave your trail and double back there to try and find them.
If you do go to Bree, we left a cover story to protect Kel. We have said that he has died. He's in such a bad health, it's the only thing we could do to protect him.
Well, that was very smart. I won't show myself. I'll just keep an eye on the surroundings and see if anyone is paying undue attention to the town. You should take this, though, and she'll reach and she'll pull out her quiver and slide the bow that's unstrung right now out of it, and it's a beautiful bow of elven make, and she'll hand it to you, and she'll go, this may help where I can't go with you. Its name is Sundart. It comes from our home. I think it will be of some use to you in the coming days.
Thank you. This is a mighty gift.
Well, you carry a mighty burden, and I think, thinking back on what your friend Lan was saying earlier, that talks of Sauron and the shadow and so on and so forth are quote-unquote above the pay grade, I think that we can't minimize the importance of helping a friend, helping just one person. We sometimes perhaps think that we need to save nations or villages or towns, whatever, to make it worthwhile, but sometimes it starts with just saving one person. If we can't save one person, then how are we going to save everybody else? So
Every little bit to fight the shadow.
Indeed. This thing shoots true. I think you will find it quite useful. Heads south of the Talon Woods, just on the edge of the South Downs. That's where you'll find a isolated hut where Violet lives. As I said, be wary in your approach of her. Show her kindness. She may rebuff you at first, but winning her trust and in return, feeling like you can trust her, I think is paramount in helping save your friend Kel. Once you've done this, return to Bree, and we will see what we can do about the circle.
Oh, and if you see a shady fellow with a mask stabbing people, break his dagger. If you would.
I understand. I'll see what I can do. She will step back and address all of you. You've taken on a very important journey here. I wish you swift speed upon it. I'll be waiting for your success on your return near Bree. I have instructed Aelwyn with where to go. If you have a map of the area, you should be able to find it fairly easily. Just head south below the Talon Woods, and, well, if you find yourselves in the middle of the South Downs, you've gone too far.
Do you know how long it will take us to get there?
Several days, probably a week or more, but the ponies will help.
We've been on the road for 5 days now, is it? 4 days?
Well,
We're
if
on
you
a bit
need
of-
some supplies, we can hook you up. We got a little bit left over here.
It's not so much that, it's more that Kel was on a bit of a time limit from the wound that he had sustained. It was more of a case of he had, at the time of us leaving Bree, it was more 10 to 12 days left before the poison took him, and that's the time limit that we have to find the red masked one and destroy the dagger.
Well, then you've no time left to lose. Go as fast as you can, but stay safe. I'll see you back in Bree. Thank you, Harwood. Tussle, once again, you come through as the heroes that you are. If you do have some supplies, if you would give them to my friend, I'm sure they will find them very useful. And she looks over, and none of you except Aelwyn can see, but Aelwyn, you see a couple of people moving off in the distance, kind of hiding in the trees. It appears that some from the inn have decided that we were probably worth running after all. So I will go and handle these miscreants.
Oh, take Lan with you. She wants to fight someone so badly.
Oh my god, please.
I'm certain you'll have more than enough on your hands in the coming days.
I'm just imagining a couple drunks, like, like hanging out in the bushes, like, come on, we could take her.
Best you make haste and begin your journey. Swift feet all. And she, with that, will turn and head off in the direction of these thugs, and Harwood will come out with a little bag. He's like, I put what we could spare in here. There's a little bit of ale and some cheese and some dried fruits for you.
We'll take that ale to go.
Not a problem. I see I've got some ale skins here, right here for you. Ale's a bit warm, but that's how we like it. Just, he pats one of the ponies. Just be mindful with these. They're very good. Very gentle souls.
Thank you very much for your generosity in this endeavor that we are taking on. Lan, could you please make sure to share the cheese this time?
I offered to share last time, and you guys were all weird because it technically wasn't ours.
She says, bits of cheese falling out of her mouth.
No, I'm still on the nuts. I'll move to the cheese later. I gotta separate it out.
And Tussle will come to you, Faron, and say, take care. If you were to find that Broderick is getting a little tired, perhaps along the way, maybe you would be so kind as to pick him up on your shoulders and carry him for part of the way. You know, share the load, like. That would probably be good.
I will make sure he is well taken care of.
I trust you. You seem a decent sort. Well, good luck. I hope to see you again someday. We'll be here if you return with our ponies. It's been a pleasure meeting you all.
Pleasure.
So you will
Goodbye.
each climb. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, just say goodbye.
Yeah, and I said thank you. Yep.
You will each climb aboard your ponies and find them to be very comfortable to ride and very sturdy animals. And you will set off down south. I would invite you now, mein Fruns, to take a look at the map that I am bringing up here on Owlbear Rodeo.
Here we go with these hexagons.
Yeah, so we'll be using the travel rules from the Lord of the Rings game. The way this works is you now have a decision to make. You are here, roughly, This is where the Forsaken Inn was. Right, that little cauldron there. So you are just sort of below that. It's sort of where the R is in this hex here. You are heading generally, you don't know exactly where, fortunately, but you are heading generally in this area. Each hex represents roughly a day of travel, a bit more than that because you have ponies. What I would like you to do is tell me, because there's basically 3 ways you can get there. You could decide to go down this way, go down south, and then cut across to go into this area. You could decide to stick to the east road for a little bit, come around the corner, and then cut down here. Or you could decide to go straight and cut through the woods. Totally up to you.
Time's
So-
of the essence, right? So if we can like navigate our way through the shortcut, it might
The
help
only
us.
issue that I want to speak about to the woods is that in the wooded hex, you can't travel on your ponies. You have to lead them.
Oh, okay. So maybe like the south and then over one.
Lengthwise, it ends up being fairly the same. You'll make some good time on the east road. So you'll save some time there, but then of course it's kind of a bit of a detour. Going through the forest is a little bit quicker, but you'll lose some time in the forest, and there might be dangers in the forest. And
Well,
then cutting
you know,
around something
since
around.
we were actually hoping that those bad guys catch up to us, staying on the road sounds fine to me.
That's a really good point, actually. Like we want them to find us.
So what you can do, you can take the pen, and I would like you to draw out roughly the road or the trajectory you wish to take, and then I will.
So are we saying we're at the R? So we're saying we're at the R on Faron's map. So we're saying that we want to go this way. I don't know if this is... No, I'm not drawing anything. Why am I not drawing anything?
Have you selected the draw
I think
tool?
I can draw something. Hang on. You guys seeing that?
Oh,
no.
it's making a box.
I may not have. Hold on. I may need to give you the opportunity.
It's a
Well,
test.
just the one that
No
you
one has
outlined,
access, and we're
Blake.
all like desperately trying to find the drawing tool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
think-
you were able to do it, Bleak. So if you want to do it
yeah. There's a setting.
to
It's just a
save us
question
time,
of setting. All right.
we'll essentially take the east road.
So yeah, we can see that.
and
okay.
that way.
Okay, so that's the way you're gonna go. You're gonna head up this way.
And I guess we could like take a little shortcut through the woods a little and shave a little bit of time off, possibly.
Is that what you want to do?
Only if it's faster.
If you don't encounter too much trouble in the woods, it might shave a couple of days off.
Well, we are technically going back on ourselves in order to go around the Talon Woods and get to that location, which, as pointed out before, would give perfect opportunity for the Headless Cross to perhaps bump into us, so that we can hopefully deal with the injury that is afflicting Kel at the moment. So I'm not opposed to going that way. Plus, it is if we know that route already, we've got to travel straight back to Bree after we've spoken to Violet anyway, so we'll know the way back. So it should hopefully be easier for us and quicker for us to get back to Bree.
So you want to maybe try to cut through here a little bit?
Yeah.
If we think that's faster.
Maybe, I mean, can we get there and then do some kind of like check?
Well,
If
the
it's
thing is,
faster and we don't leave the ponies behind.
you're gonna have to go in the forest. Who knows what's gonna happen in the forest? That's kind of basically. It's a little bit more dangerous in the forest. It's
I know.
it's a crapshoot. It's a crapshoot.
We do know that there's wolves in the, like, this is the same forest where the wolves were coming from, right?
That's right.
Okay. So I do like the idea of going on the east road. I'm not sure about going through the shortcut of the woods. But
Okay,
Decision
well
you have to
let's
make.
start with the road and then we'll see how it goes.
That's a good idea.
Okay. So, in total, you have, and I'm going to write this down. I found a piece of paper. I never have a piece of paper handy. All right. So you have, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, say 8 hexes on the road, which will count as 4 since you'll be traveling pretty quickly since it's a road. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 off-road. All right. So you're looking at about 10 days.
Okay. And if we get attacked by, the masked guys and we can't take them, then we could go into the forest and, try our luck there or something.
Okay. So before we head off on this, Ashley, the bow you were given, Sun Dart, is a longbow that does +1 to hit and damage. It also has the virtue of straight flight, which means that you ignore cover for your targets and you suffer no disadvantages due to long range when you use this weapon. Bordered to the west by the Greenway and to the north by the East Road, the South Downs is a range of hills running from east to west for about 100 miles. Dreary, empty, and featureless, the hills sport little vegetation, and few animals make their lair there. The Bree folk and the rangers have little reason to travel across this wild region and avoid it whenever possible, disliking in particular the occasional miasma of shadows that drifts east from the Barrow Downs. So the first leg of your journey will be on the road. So the way this works is that each of you now will fill a role. One of you will be the guide, who will be in charge of making decisions concerning the route, ensuring rest, supplies, so on and so forth. One of you will be the hunter, who's in charge of finding food in the wild. One of you will be the lookout, who's in charge of keeping watch. One of you will be the scout, who's in charge of setting up the camp and opening new trails. We worked this out before the game started. Faron, the Ranger of the North, will be the guide. Calrum will serve as hunter. Aelwind as lookout with her sharp elven eyes. And I wrote scout will be the scout, but Lan will be the scout.
Scout does have very strong scout energy.
Very strong.
Like Scout from To Kill a Mockingbird energy.
So the way this works is for every hex, although while on the East Road, it'll be every 2 hex. We start by making a roll for the guide. So guide, if you would, make me a roll. Are you using the travel skill or will you be using the cartographer tool skill?
I will be doing the travel skill.
All right.
Because this is still within wooded lands, right?
Right. So you roll your skill and you have a DC of 15.
It is 15 on the dot.
On the dot. All right. So this is what happens. Basically, whenever the guide makes a roll, it dictates when an event occurs along the road. If you had failed by 5, the next hex would have a event. If you had just failed, it would be in 2 hexes. But however, you succeeded, so 3 hexes will go by without much of an event. So in this case, it'll be 6 because I said that you were traveling twice as fast on the road. So if we start here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So here, once you reach here, this
That
hex.
was fast.
So you travel back. It takes a few days. The weather is pretty good. You meet very few people on the road as it's getting near winter and people don't really venture out as much anymore. You probably meet a couple of the laggards, the merchants from Bree that are still trying to kind of get back home. But for the most part, it's fairly desolate. You don't run into any of the Banes people. And traveling has been pretty easy, finding nice little camping sites at night, getting a good rest. Callum's doing a pretty good job hunting, keeping everyone well fed. However, on the on the third day of travel, just as you're about to start looking for a place to cut down towards the south, something occurs. Let's see what this thing is. So one of you will be targeted by this event. So as the guide, Alex, if you would do me a favor and roll a d3, so you can roll a d6 and then 2. So the scout will be targeted with this particular event. If you would, scout Lan, roll me a d20, just a straight d20, first of all, to get a sense of what this event might be.
Nat 20.
Nat 20, right
Nat
off the
20.
bat. That is.
I am scouting all the livelong day.
This is where we find out that a nat 20 on this roll is actually bad.
Yeah. He said to see how much I perceive of this event.
See, that's
So
a
it
quantity.
sounds Like
That's a quantity die.
So, yeah, exactly. So now a terrible misfortune befall. No, I'm kidding.
no, it's a nat 20. You have to reward me.
On the nat 20, as you are traveling along this road, just before you stop for the night, you stop for the night and you start making your camp, and perhaps you go off to try and find a little bit of a source of fresh water, Lan. And as you do, you come across, let's see if I have something here for you. Oh, I didn't put it in here. Anyways, you arrive at an area that's got a bit of a stone archway, and it's old and crumbled, kind of fallen apart, kind of, overtaken by the vegetation and the shrub. And when you approach it, you see, hold on, I have it here. I'm sorry.
You see the Ale to Go headquarters.
No, you cut through a little bit and push the shrubbery aside. You see there the remnants of what appears to be a very ancient statue, and it's very hard to make out if it's a human or something else. It's incredibly old, and the statue is kind of a little crooked, but it appears to be of some sort of royal figure, either a king or a queen. It's very weather damaged. It's kind of hard to see, but there's still kind of a bit of a regal pose to the way the statue is sort of set up. And as you look upon it, you feel a bit of sense of calm and hope kind of settle in on you a little bit. Do you call your friends over to witness this particular thing?
I feel like a sense of hope, as in
like you feel pretty good, like there's like something about this place that makes you feel joyful almost.
Have I felt this way since leaving home?
No, the last time you probably felt like this was when you first heard that perhaps Kel was coming back, and then since then it's kind of been a descent into,
Is this like touring the Black Hills where you suddenly get to Waldrug and you're like, it's a jackalope, and then no? All right.
I have no clue. I've never been to Black Hills. I couldn't tell.
That's an American thing. I think Lan would call her friends over because she would think, oh, we've been on the road. It's been so stressful and we've taken on so much shadow that I'd want them to get the benefit of this as well.
Okay, I have gone and found my image that I wanted to show you. I'll just put it here. So Lan will come back and tell you about this place or this thing that she's found. And when the lot of you cut across the bush and head there, I will put the image here on the owlbear.
Wow.
The cloudy cover seems to part a little bit. Some rays of sunlight and warmth and light sort of seep in and envelop you as you stare upon this very ancient figure, this very ancient stone. You notice, actually, I will have anyone who wishes make a, let's see, make a nature or medicine roll.
I've got a 3 in medicine, which is surprising. Not great. It's like an 11.
I'll give it a whirl with medicine.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm not rolling real good yet again. So, yeah, that's only 11.
Anybody else?
I rolled nature and got a 14.
Okay. Faron?
What is nature as far as skill? Like intelligence, wisdom?
Wisdom, I do believe.
Wisdom? Okay. I got a 6.
Calrum, you would see at the feet of the statue, there is a wreath of flowers that grow. When you examine it closely, you can identify the plant as kingsfoil. And you know that a sprig of it can be harvested and can be used to help heal people. So you can go ahead and roll a d10.
That's a 10.
So you get 10 uses out of it. So it will replace a healing kit. Each use will replace a healing
Nice.
kit.
What was the name of the plant again, sorry?
Kingsfoil.
Kingsfoil.
There are things engraved on the statue, but it's too old and weathered to sort of know. But simply being in this glade and seeing the statue and sort of perhaps the idea that there have been civilizations and there have been people here for so long that, you know, if they've made it through and we've gotten to the point where you are, then, you know, you'll make it through also. And eventually there will be others that will come after you and the world will continue. So this sort of fills you with a little bit of hope, and each of you gains an inspiration.
Ooh, yay.
Do we
I don't
also gain
suppose-
an inspiration at the start of each session?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
okay.
that's-
I just wanted to so we've got the right amount.
I don't suppose that, you know, that inscription that we can't read anymore says don't pick the flowers.
Don't eat the flowers.
I mean, I got a nat 20. I think this is a good thing. I'm scouting out the best places, you guys. That's
That's
why
right.
I'm the scout.
So you will continue then the next morning on your way. I will ask the guide to once again make me a roll. However, I'll ask you to roll a d4 first.
D4. That is a 1.
All right. With the 1, you get an overcast day, which does not impede you or help you in any way, but the sky continues to be heavy and gray and sort of leaden and kind of very low, but there's no snow or wind or rain yet. All right. So go ahead and give me your travel 15 roll, DC 15.
This one is going to be a 19.
Very good. Very good. So you managed to make it another 3 hexes. So that would take you. I'm going to go back to the other map. Andy, just so you know. All right. So you continue to travel. So you stopped here. She will continue at this point I'll give you the 2 hexes here on the road, and then 2 more as you head down to here, and you make it out to here for another event. Sort of happens as you're rounding around the forest. So go ahead and give me a D3 guide, please.
1.
Ah, the scout again. It's funny because we just did this in my home game, and it was the scout 3 times.
Scouting.
He was not happy. As you
Scout's
are
honor.
up ahead, running around, trying to find a place to stay, give me a D20 roll.
You're not gonna believe me.
If you say nat 20, I'm not going to believe you, but I'll
I
take it 'cause I have no
swear
idea.
to God, I just got another nat 20.
I believe her.
I can show you. I can take my camera off blur and I can show you.
That's going to prove anything. You come around the corner and you just sort of evade the forest. And sort of turn around. And the first thing that you see is over yonder, you see the South Downs, and they kind of fill you a little bit with dread as you see them, because they're just this vast sort of windswept series of hills. There are crooked trees, and it just really does not look like a nice place to be at all. And just as you sort of see that, and it is again near dusk when you do this, as you were looking for a camp, you notice in the sky what appears to be a meteor that is gliding through the night sky, and you can just barely see it. It's just dark enough now in the sky above for you to kind of see it as it sort of flies overhead, and seems to be heading kind of generally in the direction of Bree. And as you see this meteorite sort of fly up like this and in direction of Bree, it makes you think of Bree, and makes you think of the warmth there. It makes you kind of, yearn for it, wanting to be back there, wanting to be back at the Prancing Pony, singing and dancing and having a drink, possibly with Kel, having saved his bacon with your friends and all that, and just the good nights you've spent there. And all of you kind of get lost for a little while in your own thoughts about your home. Perhaps Aylwyn thinks of her natural home, or perhaps she thinks of Bree. But you do spend the next little while as you're silently preparing camp and making food, kind of going through happy memories and sort of looking forward to ending this journey, and again finding that comfort of home sort of waiting for you. And again, as you have experienced this joyful moment, this joyful sight, you all get an inspiration. You're loaded.
Oh, yay.
Mother Dave would be panicking.
I'm just inspiring us so much, you guys.
That's right. If you roll a third D20 natural, then I'm going to say that your dice is loaded.
If it gets on Scout again, I'm gonna roll it on Owlbear so that it's not on me. So
You-
it's the
BTT.
computer's fault.
Yeah.
You will, the next morning, continue your journey. You still haven't found the hut. You're kind of traveling. You are entering, at this point, a kind of a more perilous area. You can hear in the distance wolves howling. You clearly see tracks of wolves, but also other tracks. You're not too sure exactly what they are. And Alex, if you would start by giving me a D4 so we can check what kind of weather you got going on.
That is a 2.
As this, you wake up one morning and you find your bedrolls covered with a thin sheen of snow, and there are snowflakes already coming down, big flat wet snowflakes sort of coming down, and the cold is starting to set in as the wind that's howling through the South Downs cuts right through and through you and chills you to the bone. Now you will, in addition to the regular roll here, as you move through this area, I will ask you to each make me a Constitution saving throw against cold. Now you do have, I believe, something that can help you with that.
Our scarves give us advantage, do they not?
They do. As the wind and the cold start to bite, you pull your scarves that you were given.
I got a 17.
By Elodie.
16.
21.
Nice.
With advantage, I rolled 2 17s, so that's 23.
All right, so
We're keeping toasty. We're toasty.
yeah, thanks to these scarves, these brand new scarves that you feel quite warm and very comfortable, even though the wind has turned very bitter cold and the snow is coming down. All right, Alex, go ahead and give me a travel 15 DC 15 roll.
Okay. $18.
All right. So the next hex that you walk into happens to be a perilous hex, as I was saying. So when you enter a perilous hex, the first thing you have to do is you have to stop, and you have to go through a number of events equal to the peril rating of the area before you can move on with the rest of your journey. So in this particular case, the peril rating is 2. So right off the first hex, I will ask you, Alex, to give me a D6 roll or a D3 to see who will have to face the peril.
It's a 6, so I'm assuming it's the scout again.
No, 6 is the hunter. So 1, 2 would be scout, 3,
Okay.
4 would be the lookout, and 5, 6 would be the hunters.
The
It's
boss
time
man.
to shine.
Boss man.
Hunter, what happens as you are out trying to get some food? Give me a wisdom hunting roll, please. No, sorry. First, give me a D20 roll. Straight up D20, sorry.
Straight up D20 was a 2. I'm glad you asked for that first.
As you happen into this area, the snow coming down, the bitterness of the wind, even though you're kind of, warmed up by your scarves, the howling of the wolves, and the fact that you still haven't found this this house that you're looking for, and the days are kind of clicking by, you feel a little bit of a sense of fatigue and despair sort of settling down on you. So first, I would like you all to make note that you each get a +2 fatigue, which we will deal with later at the end of the trip when you have to make an exhaustion roll. I would now ask you to make your wisdom hunting roll, mind friend.
That's a 10.
That's a 10. As this unfortunate bout of despair sort of settles in on you all, you feel the shadow start to creep in, exacerbated as it is also by some of the items that you're carrying. I would like everyone to make charisma saving throws, please.
I now have a +1 in charisma. You'll know that.
That's a 6.
18.
On our character sheets where it says saving throw yes and no, what does that mean? Do
It means
add
whether
proficiency?
yeah, yes is that you're
Okay.
proficient in that.
Okay.
I got an 8.
Everybody else?
I got a 3.
Thanks. And Calrum,
18.
you got an 18?
I got a 6.
All right, so Lan, you get 1 point of shadow as the despair settles a little bit on you. The rest of you take 2 points of shadow as this darkness sort of settles in on you. However,
Did we heal any shadow like when we were with the elf lady at all, or are we still at where we were before?
Actually, I did mean, and I forgot, but I did mean to tell you that after you went to the farm and saw the ponies and all that, that you all healed 1 point of shadow.
Oh,
Okay.
All right.
Subtract
I
one.
forgot that, so thank you for reminding me.
Thank Lord for
Yeah.
I was equal to my miserable score then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
getting
so
real close
it's
to
miserable is half our charisma or
Wisdom.
constitution? Wisdom.
Half your wisdom,
Half
yeah.
our wisdom. Okay.
Anyone miserable yet? I'm not doing
Not
it.
now that I healed that 1 point, no.
Right.
All right. And now you have to do the second one. So once more, D3 to see who will be encountering this particular event.
Okay. That's for me to roll, right?
Yeah.
It's a 1.
The scout.
That's
One
gonna be
time.
me.
For good measure, please go ahead and give me a straight up D20 roll.
I'm going to roll it in Owlbear.
You can spend
Then-
advantages on these things if you want. By the way.
Oh, I can?
Yeah, if you want.
And remember, you get one per day that's just a per day one. So
Yeah.
gotta use it or lose it.
You have a per DM.
I am going to roll that with my advantage.
Okay.
So that was a 10. And the second one is also a 10. So
10 it is.
10.
As
Were
you
you able
are,
to see those on the screen?
no, I didn't, but I don't have the
Oh.
dice thing open. You perhaps, distracted by this shadow or the fatigue that's starting to sip in, you unfortunately encounter a little mishap. First, everyone write down that your fatigue saving throw increases by +1. Go ahead and Scout, make me a Wisdom Explorer roll, please.
Okie dokie. I am gonna be back to my regular dice because you guys weren't able to see that anyway. So why would I do that? Explore is an 11 on the die for a 14.
Okay. So with the 14, unfortunately the check fails. You need 15, but so your fatigue goes up by an additional 1. Now, normally the length of the journey would also increase by 1. So you kind of screw up at some point, take a wrong trail, lead everyone a little bit in a kind of a detour. So it takes a little bit longer. However, you were just about to arrive at the hut. So I'm not going to give you the extra day. And the roll that Faron made will get you 3 more X's, and that's where you will find the hut. So I won't give you the extra day, but you do take the extra +1 to your fatigue as you kind of go around in circles a little bit and got lost. Eventually found the road again, and eventually arrive at a small isolated hut. Bordered by the hills of the Barrow Downs. The hut itself is very, very small, very weather beaten. There's a bit of a fire going on outside, and there seems to be some kind of meat perhaps roasting on it. You see a pen with one little sheep in it. There's a bit of a pond, some gnarly twisted trees. The wind blows through here and makes this sort of loud whistling sound. You see a couple of menhirs there in the back with some flags sort of festooned around it, and a little bit of a garden patch that has a few kind of dying leftovers from that have not been harvested yet. You see a little bit of light coming from one of the windows in the hut, and smoke coming out of the chimney. And as you approach this and gaze upon this, you hear in the hills a very loud very distinctive howl, and certainly Faron would be able to tell you once that howl subsides and has really kind of cut right through you like the coldest of winds might, that howl did not sound natural at all, or at least it didn't sound like it came from a normal kind of wolf. There was a strength and a darkness to it that was more than you would normally expect from a wolf. And on that note, we will take our break. Short little break. Now that you have traveled so far, came so far successfully, traveled along the road, we will take a break. We'll do the exhaustion roll when we come back. But for now, thank you all, and thank you people watching. I've been totally engrossed in the game, and I've not been watching the chat at all. Hope people are enjoying this, having a good time. We will take a short break, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes, and we will see exactly what's up with the hut and what's up with that wolf owl. See you in a little bit. We are back fresh off the road. Not too exhausted because we have ponies. Love the ponies. Ponies are good. So, pursuant to the little journey that we just took, the little travel that we just took, I had everyone during the break make a Constitution saving throw. Now, the Constitution saving throw was the DC was at +4 because of the 4 points of fatigue that they had amassed while on the road. However, because they had the ponies, they got to add the ponies' Constitution bonus to their save to avoid exhaustion, which was a +3. So all of them made it, except for Faron, who perhaps, as I was just saying, felt the weight of the responsibility of being the guide a bit too heavy on his shoulders to sleep well. And so he came out of it a little bit more fatigued than the rest of them. Calrum actually feels like he's 3 years younger than he was before this started, and he's very very raring to go. But Faron has earned himself a 1 point of exhaustion, which gives him disadvantage on ability checks until he can get a rest. But through this journey, you have now arrived at the what you suspect is the hut or the house, the little house of Violet Kell, the woman that you are supposed to try and help. And as you were approaching the area of the house itself, you heard in the distance, in the downs just behind the house, a very strange and dark wolf howl that sort of gave you the shivers a little bit, and perhaps made you a little wary of what's to come. But nonetheless, you have arrived here, and I'm just going to put your tokens on the map, but you can be sort of wherever you want or a little bit further behind if you will. But the house is there. As I was saying, you can see some light inside. You can see some smoke coming from the chimney. You are, for now, possibly outside of view of the house, so you can sort of talk a little bit about how you want to approach this, what you want to do. take it from there.
How far away does that wolf howl, or did that wolf howl sound?
Well, go ahead, perhaps, and give me, whoever wants to, go ahead and give me a hunting roll. Whoever feels like it.
Can I help whoever makes the roll to give them advantage by going, oh, I believe that the distance of it might be blah blah
Yeah,
distance
sure.
that way minus da this way and all that sort of stuff.
Absolutely.
I can do the roll. I've got +3
Anyone who wants to can make it. Just choose who
advantage
you're helping.
from boss man. That's going to be a 17.
You guesstimate that they're probably certainly within a mile of where you are.
I guesstimate probably within a mile somewhere of where we are.
Don't know what that
Close,
is.
but not breathing down our necks.
Yeah, I just
Alright.
invented this word.
Is guesstimate another one of these young slang words that I hear so much about?
On the
It's
streets
very
of
hip.
Bree.
We've also been saying on fleek quite a bit.
What does that even mean?
You wouldn't get it.
On fleek or on bleak? On bleak seems to be in season right now.
Oh.
Give him disadvantage. That was bad.
That is what we call a dad joke.
That's right. I feel seen. It's okay. I feel seen. We're good.
He's got heat stroke. It's not his fault.
That's right. Been out in the wind too long, but very toasty inside your little scarves.
How do we want to approach speaking to Violet while we're currently not within earshot? As our friend said, we shouldn't just go in there saying, we know about the curse, break it, sort of thing. So
Right. No one speak about the curse, and I'm basically only pointing to Lan.
I wasn't gonna. I was mostly paying attention to what she was talking about.
All right. She said our pointers were, don't mention the curse, and we need to get her to trust us and to befriend her. And then I guess the power of friendship breaks the curse.
That's only 4 things. We can do that.
Right? All right. What's a friendly thing to do? Maybe we're checking this is just a neighborhood check-in because the wolves nearby and we want to make sure she's all right.
Right. Faron, why don't you lead us in and be like, you're a ranger, you've heard about these wolves, we just wanted to check up on people in the area.
Well, we don't even have to lie. We can say we're wardens and we are, doing some rounds outside of the city and, because we've heard about wolves attacking travelers, which we did with that gentleman that we rescued on the way in.
No
I feel like
offense to Faron and myself, but I think if we want to give a good first impression, not the two people that look like they could cut you down the middle.
Also, I feel like I'm a little too tired for this.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
all right.
I mean, I appreciate the
Well, I can do
putting me
the.
forward, but I just don't feel like I'm the best one.
Okay,
right now.
I could talk to her. Give her that same little spiel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can do it. I can maybe give you the help action just by
You can be my hype
standing.
man.
Yeah, I'll just stand next
Yeah.
to him, nod a lot. And I won't
What
speak.
she said.
Yeah, I won't
Alright.
speak though. I'll just give an encouraging nod while you speak and give you the help action.
Just remember, Elwind, not to use your resting elf face.
That's my face.
Smile.
Alright.
There we go.
All right,
Hey.
let's go.
So the two of you will step forward then and approach the cabin. What will, as that is happening, what will Faron and Calron be doing?
Faron would approach, and he'd probably stay like pretty close behind. Like, not trying to like do an ambush or sneak up on anyone. So, Faron would be looking towards the wolves, or towards the woods for the wolves, and just like looking for like tracks, seeing if there was any activity around. But yeah, that'd be it.
Okay. And Colin?
I'll be pretty much doing the same thing. I'll have my back to everything that's going on, to Lan and everybody behind with the conversation with Violet, and I'll just be keeping a scan of the road that we've just come down and the opposite direction to where Faron is looking as well, just to cover all of our bases.
Excellent. The two of you approach the door, and although you can't see, you kind of get the sense that you're being observed. Perhaps from one of the windows or some people somewhere, but you definitely feel that you're kind of being observed as you approach the door.
I just
Big
go
smile,
up.
Awen. Big smile.
All right. I go up and I knock on the door.
Get back! What do you want? I'm warning you, I have a crossbow pointed right at you.
Wonderful. We are doing a welfare check because there are wolves in the area. They have been attacking people on the road, and we just wanted to make sure that you and other people that are in the surrounding homes near this wood are okay.
Yep. Just trying to make sure it's a safety issue.
Nice try, but that won't work. I've heard that one before. Now why don't you piss off before I shoot your pretty little face off?
You've heard that before?
It's not the first time bandits come around here trying to get me out of my home. Been here most of my life, and it's going to take more than a couple of come-lately bandits to get me out of here.
No, we're Bree Wardens. We're wardens from the city. We've just...
Sure
have
you
been
are. Sure you are.
attacked
And
on the
I'm
way
the
in.
Duchess of Laketown.
If they're watching us, do we have like some kind of sigil or uniform or something?
We
that we
left
can show?
those in town.
Oh no, we did leave those behind.
I see the two shifty ones there in the back. Don't think I don't see them.
No, they're rangers. They're with us.
There's 4 of us. We have
All right, well,
ponies.
You've done your job. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm healthy. Now piss off.
Have you seen the wolves around here?
There are wolves everywhere. It's the wilds.
Well, no, but I mean, specifically, there are wolves attacking people on the road. Have you seen them? Have they bothered you?
I've not been to the road. What do you think?
Well,
I
no,
can't see the road from here.
Right, but the wolves, they don't just stay on the road.
And as you say that, you hear the howl again coming through the hills, perhaps
God.
feeling a little bit closer, but quite far from where you first heard it. Like it was sort of behind the house, more into the barrows earlier, but now it's like coming sort of from your right. And like that distance is quite a lot. Like kind of hard to think that a wolf could have sort of covered that distance in that amount of time. I saw his lips moving. I know he did that. I'm
Whose
about to
lips?
shoot you, and you hear a thong,
Wait,
and you
whose
see
lips
a
did you
crossbow
see?
bolt come out through a little slit in the door and land just like maybe like 3 feet in front of you on the ground. I didn't have to miss. I did that on purpose.
You just
Reloading.
shot your own door. That's like
I didn't shoot the door. There's a hole for me to shoot through. What do you think? I am stupid. I may be old and feeble. I'm very strong and vigorous, and I am able to defend myself, as my 3 sons are also able to defend me.
Of course. There's no doubt, ma'am, on whether or not you're able to defend yourself. We are just traveling through, checking in, and we literally just heard a wolf howl. So maybe
I
we
best
should
you best get then, for the
Well,
wolves
maybe
come and
we
eat
should
you.
turn our attention to that instead of trying to shoot some Bree wardens.
Fine, go and
who are
hunt them.
trying
What
to
do I care?
help you? You
I
hunt
don't
them?
need help.
Can you give us some advice?
Sure, leave.
Oh, Aelin, I'm really trying. I don't know what else to do.
Well, we're about to get attacked by wolves. If we have to fight these wolves here near your home, would you do us the kindness of not shooting at us while we're fighting wolves?
Do you have any money on you?
I mean, a little.
What do you need money for out here? You said you don't even go to the road.
I'm just trying to figure out what I stand to gain once I loot your corpses after the wolves are done with you.
Wow. Okay. Well, I have this great scarf. And that's about it. So, but it's very warm.
Good for you. You'll be warm
My
when you
boots
die.
are used, but they're well cared for.
I could use some new boots.
Cool. Well, nice meeting you, even though you never introduced yourself.
And we're glad that you're doing just fine by yourself with your 3 sons.
Very good. Piss off.
Can I look around and see if there's any proof of anyone else living here?
Yeah,
Are the sons a lie?
You can
I
absolutely.
think it's a lie.
You can absolutely do. So you can do a bunch of different things. You can try investigations if you want. If people want to keep an eye on the wolves, you can do some hunting rolls.
I have proficiency in investigation, so
Go
I'm gonna
to
do
town. I will say, Alex, that this does fall under the purview of your warded land. So whatever bonuses you get from that, you can have.
I got a 22 to my investigation.
I got a 24 to hunting.
I got a 19 for hunting.
Now we get the good rolls after we're exhausted and fatigued.
Right, when we just need to know if there are wolves, not fighting them.
Gee, we truly are cursed.
Faron,
So
tired?
I'm not using the rumor of the earth yet, but I rolled a 16 for just a general hunting roll.
Okay. So with the investigation roll, it's very clear there's nobody else that lives here. Like the tracks that you see on the ground, there's just like one set of footprints. The hut's very small. There would not be 3 people. The the tools and the various things around here are all like, there's just one of stuff. And most telling, there's some clothes drying on a clothesline on the back, and they're all like, very simple, sort of shifts and stuff, like nothing that would fit like a brawny boy or anything.
I don't see any big muddy boots sitting outside.
No, you obviously you know that lying through her teeth.
Ma'am, if you'd like to send your sons out here to help us with the wolves, we'd really appreciate it.
Did you bring these wolves out here? These wolves weren't bothering me until you showed up. And as she says
you just said that the wolves are full. The woods are full of wolves.
Also,
but they don't come out here and bother me. They stay like people. They stay
you just
away.
said you hunt them. You just said you hunt them all the time.
I never said I hunt them all the time, honey. Get
Oh,
that
wow.
wax out of your ear. I never said that.
Different fiction all up in here.
You hear a thwang and another bolt on the ground. Don't call me a liar in my own home.
I'm not in your home. So maybe if you invite me in your home, then I won't call you a liar.
A smart mouth like that, I'm more liable to shoot you than invite it in my home.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, ma'am, we're going to take care of this for you and make sure you're super safe. So you can thank us later.
You hear nothing. The ones that made hunting rolls, you now hear howls coming from the complete opposite direction from when they came originally. And Calram, as you're looking behind you, you start seeing movement sort of at the edge, just at the edge of your vision where the hills sort of come in. And those howls now are kind of coming fast and furious and kind of reverberating through these hills and just sort of cutting through everything. And
Quick,
really
think
kind
of
of leaving the
family.
train.
Think of family for the Fast and Furious.
Be on guard. They're coming through. undetermined which location they're coming from. They're either very quick or the vibrations are disorientating the direction they're coming from. Be on guard,
Let's-
all of you.
Circle
Yeah.
the ponies up and put them in the middle, and then we can stand and kind of protect them.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, like let's stand, each of us face a different direction and like ready actions and stuff.
Let me give you your pony.
Oh, they have. Oh, it's huge.
Oh no, wait, that's my
that
one.
one's Faron's.
Yeah.
It's like a barrel with legs.
Brodson, or I don't know, what was it? It was like. Yeah, let's put them in the middle and we'll stand around them.
Make a pony donut.
Protect the ponies.
There you go. Put the ponies where you will.
Okay, and I would like to use the Rumor of the Earth now, so I don't know if we want to reuse
Yeah.
the same hunting roll or re-roll that.
Yeah, go ahead and re-roll. I'm just going to go and read on your sheet exactly what it does. Go ahead and roll.
Okay.
This lady
Good.
was nice to us. I would take her sheep too, but that thing's on its own.
I want to have
23?
a good view of us protecting her and her home from her safety of inside her home while we nearly die, and then maybe she'll feel guilty.
Evelyn says that really loudly. Like,
What did you get, Farron?
23, and I think I was misreading that, but
No, it's fine. I'll still tell you. So, yeah, so you can sense whether and which of your favorite foes are present within a number of miles. You did take wolves, right?
beasts, yeah, for
Beasts.
favorite foes.
So, the earth speaks to you as you reach out to it and kind of get a sense of what's going on. You get the sense that there are 3 of these things in the area.
Okay. Just be on your guard. Seems like there's 3 in the area.
So, are you set up sort of where you want to set up?
Yeah, I would have drawn my sword and shield at this point, too.
yeah,
I'll
I've
draw
got
my bow.
Crossbow out.
Fully kitted out and ready for fighting.
Right? Just give me 1 second as I'm about to.
Drums in the deep, they are coming.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
They've got a troll. Wouldn't that be funny? They had a troll. Don't you think?
So
No,
it
don't have
begins.
an idea.
Oh, they have a cave troll?
All right, so go ahead and let's roll some initiative, and then what you can do is there's an initiative tracker here. Hold on.
Hey.
Add to initiative. Here we go.
Where do we put the initiative?
You tell me, and I'll put it into the tracker.
I got 11.
I got a 10.
I got a 9.
Oh my god, guys.
22.
There we go.
Hey, someone's paying attention. I'm too busy like hurling insults
Sorry,
at an
hold
old
on.
lady.
Hold
Same.
on.
We're all
Ryan's
banter.
got 11. Carlin's got what?
9.
Farron
22.
and Elwind.
10. I'm busy dodging arrows from our friendly old lady.
So, Farron, you go first. You do hear the howls of the wolves kind of getting closer. You don't say anything just yet. Do you want to do anything? Do you want to hold your action? What do you want to do?
I would hold my action until they appear. Yeah, and I guess he would just charge towards them then at that point.
Okay. At 15, you start seeing movement nearby as on the hill there, and it's going to be huge when it appears because I made my tokens.
Ah,
Oh my god!
bigger than a house.
But it is quite big. You realize, obviously, that these are not normal wolves, but wargs.
Ah!
Wolves of unreasonable size.
That's right.
The WOUSs.
As you see one of them kind of crawl up on top of the little mound there at the bottom and just sort of squat there and just start emitting this low growl that's rumbling its chest, and then you hear behind you and you look out past the menhirs and there's another one that's kind of stalking in really low, just sort of passing through the bushes and coming around. Faron, so they will go at normally at 15. Faron, you get to use your held action if you wish.
Okay. He would come up. It's within my range. And then, yeah, he would get sneak attack and just hit him with the sword.
Alrighty. As you come up to it, you've rarely seen a beast like this. It's got this midnight black fur and then this red fur sort of underneath its chest. And as you approach, it bears these really horrible, darkened fangs at you, and really kind of sets your a little bit of dread kind of going in you. Go ahead, my friend.
Okay. That is a 20 to hit, unnatural.
That hits.
Sorry,
No, sorry.
trying to scroll through. Six, 11, or no? Sorry, 8 damage.
8 damage. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. As your sword bites quite deep into it, it will react, since it was its action, by attempting to bite you. Getting a 20, a dirty 20 on it.
That'll hit.
You take 3 piercing damage. And give me a DC 12 strength saving throw. Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Yeah, I don't pass. That was
You
like
don't
an
pass,
8.
or you get knocked prone to the ground.
Oh,
All right. Oops. At 15, the other one will rush in, bound in, and attack. Poor little man.
not the scout.
The scout's getting in again. Armor class 10.
Does it hit?
Sorry, what?
Armor class 10.
Oh no, I have 14.
All right. It bounds in and tries to bite you,
Okay.
and you just manage to kind of skip on away
Can't
from
touch
it.
Boop it on the nose.
Boop.
At 11, go for it, Lan.
So I'm gonna try to boop it with my dagger. But I want to look for a weak spot using my weak spot ability. So essentially, I'm going to do an investigation check against his dexterity check, and if against his stealth check, and then if I win, I get to use sneak attack on
Okay.
him for the next minute.
Coolio del Folio. So you're making a roll against his dex, right?
Against his stealth, yes.
Against his stealth? All right.
So my investigation was a 17 on the die for a 21.
All right, good enough.
Did I beat him?
Yep.
Cool. So where is his like weak spot?
Definitely sort of just behind the front leg here on the side where
Okay.
you might be able to reach the heart.
Cool. So I will go to attack that.
Go for it.
That's gonna be a 18 to hit.
That hits.
Cool. So that's gonna be my sneak attack is 2d6. So
Okay.
that's 3d6 plus 3 damage. That's gonna be 8 plus 3, so 11 damage.
All right, very good.
And then I believe, let me check if I had to. Okay, I already used my bonus action, so that's the end of my turn.
Okay. At 10 would be Elwyn.
Okay. So, the first thing that she does is she invokes the spirit by giving an elvish chant of Sera Toshavital, and she then is filled with elvish spirit power and gets +1 on all of her rolls for the scene in which she uses it. And then she is going to attack with her bow the wolf that just attacked Lan. And she's going to attack it with advantage with her brand new shiny magical bow. And we'll see how it goes.
Go for it.
Okay. Woo, there we go. 17 plus 18 plus my longbow, which is 9. Okay, so yeah, that's like 7 to hit.
That hits. That hits.
And then okay, so that is, and then because it's in melee, I get a sneak attack die as well.
Okay.
Okay, so I
Yes.
get, yes, I'm adding all these on. Okay, there we go. All right, that is 9 with my special. The bow gets a +1 damage,
Mhm.
and for regular damage, and then an extra 4 sneak attack damage.
Okay.
And then bonus action, I use my magical elf thing that if I don't move, I can get advantage on my next turn.
Awesome. Cool.
Okay, and that's
Cool.
it.
You it's quite wounded, by the way. It's quite hurt.
I think we would yell out to Carlum, go help Faron. We've got this one.
And at 9, Carlin, you can go. There will be someone else acting also at 9, Carlin. So normally I let the player go first, but I'll give you the option of waiting to see what's happening, or do you want to go?
I'll go first, and I'm going to hold my position where I am, keeping an eye out for the third wolf, and I'll hold my action. When I see it, I will attack it.
Okay.
Or when it gets within range, I'll attack it.
So as you do that, you're quite surprised to see a spear coming right at you. That's a 19
That meets my AC.
plus, yeah. So it's 19 plus 5. So hit. The spear arcs out from behind the trees, and just before it hits you, you have just a moment to realize that it looks like an orcish spear. And as the spear thunks into you, you take hold on. Take 10 points of damage as it arcs in, stunks you right in the chest. You can see coming out of the woods
Oh no, are these actually wargs and not wolves?
Yeah, you see this orcish warrior
Oh.
wearing a battered helm, carrying this big shield, and he's got a scimitar on his back, and he's got a couple of spears in his hand. As he's sort of rushing forward towards you, he yells something in orcish, but it sounds very loud and very sort of triumphant as he rushes in and will engage you, my friend. And his yell of triumph, which he just did, gives him and a number of creature within range advantage on attack rolls until his next turn. And he can, and that was his action. So he has run out to meet you, and he rushes in with his shield up and his spear, and he's like, and he just comes at you. Back there where you are, Faron, your blade starts to glow somewhat as an orc is nearby. Back up to the top, Faron.
Well, didn't Carlum hold his action?
Oh, yes, that's right. Sorry, go for him.
I shall attack.
I like how you said that on a tone of like you're trying to rob him.
Okay, so as he charges into me, I'll bash shields with him and then try to expose his side and swing in with the axe. I rolled 14, so that is going to be a 19 to hit.
Well, so normally that would hit. He's got a reaction, which once per turn he can use a parry and add an extra 2 to his AC against one attack that would hit him. And he manages to just hit parry with his spear as your weapon comes in and just bats it aside.
Oh,
That's right.
yeah, that's everything.
All right. Back up to the top, Faron. You are so distraught that you have lost your voice.
Sorry. I have to. Yes. So stand up first.
Yep.
And then
And
do I have the. I can attack them?
Yep.
Okay. So just attacking with the sword again. 19 to hit. And then that is going to be 6 more damage.
All right. Very good. And then after that, we are down to the wards. 6 more damage, you said? All right.
Yes.
He appears to be bleeding. All right. The warg will take his advantage attack that his boss has just given him on you, hitting 22.
That will hit.
He will give you 8 points of damage. As he bites into you, give me a strength saving throw again, please.
8 again.
As you are knocked down once more, and seeing you knocked down and prone, he is going to take his movement, since you can't attack him, and bound out here. And because they're pack animals, will come and join his buddy in attacking land, thereby...
Hello?
That's right. They are pack animals. He will use... The other one will attack you using his pack tactic. But he already has advantage, so it doesn't make a huge difference. And Lan, he hits you with a 18 plus...
Yeah, that hits.
Plus something.
Yeah.
Plus 4. All right, that hits. Giving you 7 points of damage as he bites into you. And I will ask you to make me a strength check also. Strength save, please. You also, I would say... Faron and Aelwind, I would say please give me a
I have +0 to strength, so I got a 9.
a 9.
Give
You are
me a-
knocked down.
I didn't
prone.
hear what what you said.
Yeah,
Give
so
me
no,
a-
so I was looking, both of you,
Okay.
Faron and Ilwin, give me a perception check, please.
Okay.
You are knocked down prone.
Because I have proficiency in it, I would like to use my elven do hoo-ha to like give myself an auto success.
Sounds absolutely excellent. Faron, did you get anything?
I rolled a 10.
All right, so Faron, you don't notice anything. As far as Ilwin is concerned, well, I'm just going to move this token over. Ilwin, it's very miraculous because you should not be able to see this because it's happening on the other side of the house. But thanks to your almost magical elven sense of perception, you realize that some other beast has crawled in behind all of this and battered its way, or is battering its way inside the house from behind the house. And it's huge.
Ah,
Oh no.
Mama Warg.
You just get this sense that there is something else there, and you can hear wood cracking as it's attacking the back of the house. And it is your action. No, sorry, it's land.
Okay. I'm going to use my movement to get up. And as I get up, I'm going to hit the same wolf in the same weak spot to keep my sneak attack.
Okay.
And that is a natural 20, my friend.
Another one?
Woo!
That's like your third natural 20 this game?
Oh my god. Okay, so do I just double my regular damage dice or do I double the sneak attack damage?
Just the regular damage dice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I'm rolling 4d6 plus 3. Yeah, nat 20. Ooh, that is so good. Okay. 8 plus 12 is 23 damage. 23 damage. So as I get up, I want to slash this wolf's weak spot, like while I'm going up from prone, because it's like behind its little arm.
All right,
Undercut
go
it.
ahead and describe how you kill.
I get in its weak spot and I just like slash up its arm like into its abdomen and into its heart, and I kill it instantly. Like it's dead before
It
hits
even
the
knows
ground. It's very humane.
it falls to the ground.
And I want to jump up, and I just have all this adrenaline from killing this beast that I'm going to use my bonus action Defiance to heal myself.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't remember exactly how much it is. Let me look really quick.
All right. After that will be Ilwin.
1 hit die. So I heal myself with my adrenaline.
I heal myself. Ilwin.
Okay. Am I 5 feet away from that warg, or am I 10 feet away from that warg?
What do you want to be?
I would prefer it to be more than 5 feet since I am wielding a bow.
Then you
And
are
this
more
is
than
5
5
feet.
feet. Then you are more than 5 feet.
Okay. Then I get advantage on my attack roll.
Go for it.
Okay.
I also just want to point out how funny it is.
Natural 20.
No!
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god!
All right, so I got a natural 20 on this bow attack. I point my bow and I arc it over at this warg. And since it's in combat, right now I get my sneak attack die and my regular attack. So, ooh, and I got a 8. I rolled an 8 on my damage die. So how do you do your nat 20?
It's full damage plus you roll.
Okay. So that is 17 with my magical bow. And then there is 4 more damage for sneak attack.
All right. So tell us how you fell this foul beast.
I just arc my bow up and I do this beautiful little like lob, and as the wolf looks up, I get it right in the eye.
Honk. Falls to the ground. Dead. Very good. Do you want to move?
No. Bonus action. I use all my movement and change it into advantage next turn.
Okay. After that,
wow.
it is Carlum.
I am going to, staying within 5 feet of this orc, I'm going to move around so that I am blocking his path towards the others, probably scratching our shields against each other, and then I'm going to spin the axe around and go for another attack against him.
Go for
I'm
it.
going to use Battle Fury, which means I get advantage on the roll.
Okay.
He'll get advantage against me, and I have resistance to piercing, slashing, and bludgeoning damage until the start of my next turn. I'm not going to lie to you, I rolled a natural 20. I was going to make a joke of going
Natural
natural
20
1.
club.
Yeah.
Bleak's gonna murder us just out of anger for how many Nat 20s we have.
Why would it anger me? I just find it funny.
So max the dice out for the first attack. So that's 11 plus 4 plus 10 in total. So 21 points of slashing damage against the orc man.
Very good. He doesn't seem very happy with that.
And then for my bonus action, I am going to use my thing that I have. I think it's called Surge of Vigor, which means I can choose to either dash, hide, or heal myself as a bonus action, or attack. So I'm going to attack again.
Okay, go for it.
This time without advantage. That was a 18 to hit.
Okay. 18 will hit on the nose.
So that was going to be 13
Actually,
points of slashing damage.
Hold on, I'm going to displease you because it is his action also. So he's gotten his reaction back, which adds 2 to his AC and goes back to 19 with it. So
okay, that's fine. Yeah, so that misses.
it's poof, he bats away your thing again. And then he goes. He will do an attack on you with his spear.
With advantage.
With advantage. Which is great because when he has advantage, he can do sneak attack. So natural 20. No, I'm kidding. I got a 17 there.
17 will miss.
Yeah, but that 17 plus is to hit bonus, which is 5. So it's 22.
Yep, that hits.
All right, 22 hits. So he's doing that and the sneak attack. So he's doing his damage. Plus sneak attack, which in this case is 3d6. Coming at you live.
This is all live, by the way, for those watching.
This is a live stream, so
18 points of damage.
Because of my Battle Fury, I will half that to 9.
All right. And he will proceed to give you a shield bash as his second attack. Because he can. That's what he does. And that's a 15 plus 5, so that'll be 20, dirty 20.
Yep, that hits.
All right. He will do to you a big fat 7 points of damage. And give me a strength saving throw.
I will half that. Do you round up or round down?
Round down. And give me a strength saving throw.
Strength save will be 7.
as he knocks you down, bashing you with his shield, and you fall down on your ass. So we're tea kettle. Everyone make a charisma saving throw, please.
What? What? No, I don't think I will. I think.
Okay,
good.
you can refuse to make it, in which case you fail it automatically.
I rolled a 5.
I did too, but that makes it a 6.
I'm gonna use one of my inspirations.
Oh yeah.
Reroll. I got a 19.
All right. Friendly reminder that, as I've said before, you have to spend your inspiration to gain an advantage before you roll and not after you have failed.
Sorry.
So keep that.
I
So
I get excited. You say like roll something. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna roll, and then like that didn't.
So whoever got over 14, you take one shadow as this dark, incredibly powerful howl emanates from the area behind the house, and those who did not make the save, you get 2 points of shadows, and you get disadvantage on your actions next turn. You hear screaming from inside the house as the house is cracking, and there's definitely something going on there. Back to the top, Faron.
So I'm going to use my action to just stand up again.
Yep.
And then, is it half movement or no movement?
Yeah, half your movement.
Half. Haven't heard the wolf cry. Kind of move halfway
Alrighty.
towards the back.
You can see, just as you kind of get around there, that the wolf is kind of partially inside and is way bigger than the other ones, and it looks like it's almost inside the house.
Okay.
And you hear screaming down there. Do you want to do anything range-wise or anything else, or you're just going to...
I don't think there's anything I can do because I had my sword out, so I wouldn't be able to like pull out a bow or anything. Or
All right. Next, it is this wolf who makes it all the way inside the house. Land Hardybow.
Okay. Ilwind, are you gonna stay here or are you gonna go in the house? Because I'll do the opposite.
It depends. Because I get advantage if I don't move.
Okay. I can dash, so I can get there.
Okay.
So I'm gonna dash.
Or you could maybe break down the front door, or like have her come out. Like.
Yeah. So I'm gonna move to the door, and I assume I have to bonus action dash to get all the way there.
Yeah.
So I'll bonus action dash and try to open the door and get in there.
Right.
That's gonna be locked for sure. Or you could try to break in through the upstairs window.
Yeah, we know how climbing things works out for me.
That's true.
Not well.
All right. So you're rushing towards the door. You want to try to open the door?
Yeah.
It is locked.
Okay. How much movement would you say I have left? Because
you have a regular movement. You used your bonus action to run over there, so you'd have your regular movement left.
So I can use my regular movement to go around the back, maybe?
Sure.
Okay. So I'll do that, and then I'll still have an action. Right?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah.
I'll have used my action to get back there.
No, you use your movement action to get back there. So you
Okay,
still
cool.
have a regular action.
So I get back there. What is going on?
This is D&D 5e where everyone gets to do 200 million things.
Yes.
So when you get there, there's a big hole, and you can see that the wolf is kind of walking, and it's so big as it's walking, it's pushing tables and chairs aside, and it's kind of brushing up against the beams on top, and it's kind of crawling slowly towards something. You can kind of see a little bit through its legs. You can see a woman there, and you can hear that crossbow bolt that kind of flings off, and then she's kind of backing away from this thing as it's crawling slowly towards it.
I'm gonna call out to it and I say, "Hey, fuzzball!" And I'm gonna shoot it with my crossbow.
Yeah, right. crossbow away. On
Do I have advantage because it's next to her, or it's not quite next to her yet?
No, I'm not gonna say you have advantage on that one. Like it would have to be like engaging combat, and she's just
So it hasn't attacked her yet. It's just moving.
is
towards
trying to get there. The house is kind of small on that end.
Okay.
You can see where the house gets smaller, and she's in the front there.
So then I just got a 14. Does that hit?
14, unfortunately, does not hit as it bounces off its thick hide. In fact, it probably kind of just gets lost in the fur and is kind of flapping around.
Do I get its attention by yelling?
Well, do an intimidation roll.
Ooh, I can do that. Actually, I can't do that very well, but I'm gonna do it. That's
shot.
16. I only had a +1.
16, that's not too bad. Let me see. If I roll really crappy. I roll crappy. You do it. Turns around.
Yes.
Looking
Come at me.
And it does, because now it's its action. And so it,
Oh no. I was kidding.
it pounces forward on you.
And I say, you shall not pass.
And all right, so first attack. That will miss. Second attack, that will probably hit. That's a 22.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
All right. So you take 11 points of damage as it crawls in and just jumps at you and snaps out and grabs its mouth, just grabs into your shoulder.
Yeah.
You are held in its grip, and you will have to make a strength check next turn to try and escape, as it's just got this massive jaw just kind of totally clamped down on you, and it's kind of ragdolling you around like that.
And I took 11 damage, right?
11 damage, yes.
Okay.
Aelwind.
I am going to try to hit this goblin, or what is it, orc that's still
Orc,
here?
Yeah, Burzgul.
All right.
The orc.
I gave myself advantage on my last turn by not using any movement. And
This is the scene in the film where Legolas just stands there and just turns and shoots a bunch of and nails them all. Just standing there.
okay, so that is 24. Does that hit?
Yes, that hits.
Then I get my sneak attack because it's in melee.
You can go for it.
And that's another 8 plus 5. So that's 13 regular damage plus 3 sneak attack damage.
Nice.
And how's that orc looking?
They're still looking pretty spry.
Okay. Then I
You
will,
got a good hit on him, though. Like
then
it
I will
really
stay
went in.
here and bonus action give myself advantage by not moving.
Right, you are. Carlin, you're facing off with this orc. He's got a shield up, his spear. He just took an arrow. You looked quickly over at Aelwind, but he's refocusing right on you. He's like, you face
I
the
will-
warlord, Burzgul. Tremble, you minuscule thing.
That's more words than I've ever heard an orc say before. I will use half
I'm
movement to
close. That's why I'm alone. They kicked me out.
I will use half movement to get up, but as I do that, I'll use the rest of my movement to sort of do a tactical roll. And I want to move. Basically, I'm just moving within 5 feet of him, but I want to move to here
Okay.
and draw his attention towards me so that his back is exposed to Elwind, and then I'm going to go in for a strike and attack him again.
Okay, go for it.
I'm going to use Battle Fury so I get advantage. And resistances and all of that sort of stuff. So that is a 16 plus 5, so that's 21 to hit.
All right, that's pretty good. It hits. It's not gonna
Yay!
waste this parry on you.
Oh, it's not very good. That's 8 points of slashing damage.
8 points. All right. You got him bloodied as your blow comes in.
And that's my turn. So I've got nothing I can do with my bonus action at the minute.
All right. Well, he is going to give you a dirty grin and very quickly turn and throw his spear at Aelwind. Natural 20.
Oof.
I get those two. That's
No, that's not how that works. You can't You can't get those.
You're not allowed.
Not fair.
So Ilwyn will take a total of 14 plus 3, 17 damage.
Oh,
As this
okay. Cool.
Brutal spear just comes flying right at you and pings you right in the chest. And then you turn around as he's drawing his scimitar and shield bash Carlin in the face. And that's not
With advantage.
with advantage. Oh, he loves that business. So there will be a 19.
The 19 will hit. I forgot to ask. I am now over half of my wisdom, so I'm miserable. Does that do anything? Would that have done anything to my attacks?
I'll check after this roll.
Okay.
So you will take 7 points of damage as he smacks you across the face with a shield bash, and you will give me a strength. Ooh. He does have advantage, so he gets to sneak attack you with it on top of that. Dirty business, that. So you'll take, so that was 7. You'll take an additional 7, 8, 9 points. So that's
12
total
12 altogether?
16 total.
Oh, 16. So I will half that to 8 because I
And
am
you'll do-
battle furied.
And you'll do a strength.
For God's sake, I have a +5 to my strength saving throw. I rolled a 5, so that's 10.
Wow, as you're knocked down again, prone by the smack on the head that this he gives you with his shield. Back up to the top. A miserable decreases the fellowship rating. Oh, I completely forgot. It's not going to help you now. I'm very sorry. When you met the elf earlier, she was supposed to become your patron and give you a fellowship rating. Her bonus,
shit.
yeah, her bonus is to exploration, so it might have had a little impact on the travel. It's not something you could use here. I totally forgot that. I'm very sorry. Miserable decreases the fellowship rating by 1 addition. Miserable characters. Oh man, D20 roll is a 1 or 2. That's a
Wait,
rough business. If you roll a 20, it's a 1 or 2.
So there's no nat 20s for
When you're
If
miserable.
you're
The
miserable.
roll's a failure regardless of the DC for any ability check, attack roll, or saving throws. So moving forward, keep that one in mind as you are feeling miserable and just the weight of the shadow and the darkness, and there's just no way you feel you can win this. It's just unwinnable. This orc's too powerful, his warriors are too powerful. It's just a bad deal altogether. You don't want to get to anguish. That's the thing. All right, so that's you and miserable and knocked on your arse one more time. Back up to the top, Faron.
For retirement. For Carlin.
maybe should have stayed in town.
Faron.
I'm starting to wish I did.
So I would move back towards the
You can get all the way there.
kind of around here, be within 5 feet of land for future stuff, and then attack the wolf again.
Go for it.
That's going to be a 13 to hit.
No, you got anything that can boost that up a little bit?
No, I think that was
You factored
With
in the +1 for the sword and all that good stuff.
He doesn't get advantage for like flanking or anything like that.
No,
King in the
it
game.
would
Oh.
go up to 14 then at that point.
Well, 14 is good enough.
Gonna hit. All right.
The AC is 14. That's why I was like, you don't have
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah, no, I was looking at
It's just one. Do you have anything else?
looking at that score. That's gonna be 6 damage,
Nice.
or actually 7. Sorry. 'Cause it's-
7.
Yeah.
All right. You deal it a good blow. Anything else you want to do?
No, that's it.
All right. He is going to go. He still has land in his mouth, but he will drop her to turn on you now. First attack will miss. The second attack with a 5 will miss also as it snaps and drops land and then snaps at you twice. And you just kind of manage to back away and just batter its snout off with the sword. And next up is Lan. When you were making your strength checks earlier, were you remembering that you get a bonus on your saving throws for your sword?
No, but I don't think that would have mattered.
Lan, what do you do? It has dropped you, so you don't have to
Um,
worry about getting out of its grips.
Oh, okay. For some reason I thought it went after me.
No, it attacked Faron.
I will get up. Or am I wasn't on the ground, it was just holding me, right?
Yeah, you're fine.
Oh, okay. So then I will attack it with my dagger.
Go for it.
And I'll get advantage because my friend is within 5 feet. And so with sneak attack, that is a dirty 20 to hit.
That is good.
So 3d6 plus 3. Or I'm sorry, those are d4s with the dagger. My bad.
Murder.
8. 14 piercing damage.
Nice. Very good.
And I will bonus action. I'll bonus action dodge.
Okay.
That's my turn.
The warg appears to be bloodied. For your information. Aelwind.
And I'll call out to the lady in the house and I'll say, "Don't worry, miss. We'll protect you from this warg." As I'm like wrestling.
Actually, I'll give that lady her action now that the wolf is off of her. She will open the door and just sort of come rushing out the front door.
Did she have a crossbow? She couldn't like try to
She
actually
shot it.
hit that.
She did. She shot it, and it didn't do anything. So this older-looking human woman
She looks pissed.
comes running out, leaving the door wide open as she heads for the security of the fire. Go, Ilwind.
Okay.
So you do have a choice now because you can see the wolf through the open door all the way through the house. Normally it would be a check with partial cover, but with your bow you would not have to worry about that. Or you can shoot at the orc. It's up to you.
Ooh.
Decisions.
And you said that the warg looked pretty bad.
It is bloodied, yeah. They're both bloodied, in fact.
Yeah, I'll go for the cool Legolas move. I'll like turn to see like that tiny opening in the house, like all the way through, and then there's like the teeth of the warg snapping at my friends on the other side of the house, and I'll let go and shoot with advantage.
Perfect.
Okay. That is that is 25 to hit.
That hits.
And I will use sneak attack because it's a melee.
Go for it.
Like not as good. Yeah, I only got a 1 on my damage, so that's 2 damage to hit plus 3 sneak attack damage.
Okay. All right. Your shot flies right through the house. It almost seems to dive and dodge around things and pins the wolf right in the hindquarters. It lets out a yelp.
And then, you know what? Instead of what I normally would have done, I'm going to actually try to get a little bit of cover behind one of these dead wargs, because if I got another hit like I got last time, I won't make it.
Gonna get ugly. All right, no problem. He doesn't seem to have any more spears, but you never know what he might decide to do. Carlin. He now has a scimitar out and a shield, and he's banging it. And he's like, "Oh, cut you down to size, even though you're already bite size." I like him sliced thin. They get crispier when you cook them.
I don't want to be shorter, thank you. Feeling a little bit miserable, I will use half my movement to get up, so I've got knocked prone, and I'll do the same thing again. I'll tactical roll and put myself sort of there.
Okay.
Hopefully to try and block if he wants to get past to get to Aelwind or to Violet. And I will take an attack at him. I will use Battle Fury again.
Go for it.
Oh god, that's a natural 1 and a 3, so I got an 8.
Unfortunately, you go ahead and shing. The 8 does not make it through as he raises his shield just in time, and he will retaliate with his scimitar, giving you a couple slashes. One is a 3 and will miss. The other one will be a 17.
17 misses.
All right. As he comes in with scimitar, but misses on both shots. Back up to Faron at the top.
Okay. Going to swing at it again. I'm going to use an inspiration this time.
So, yes. Don't
Yeah.
forget
Doesn't help. Does get it to 14 though.
That's good.
Yeah. So for 9 points of damage.
Tell me how you bring an end to the warg known as Ash.
He would be when the wolf turns its head to look at the arrow go into its butt.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of take that opportunity to just kind of jab the sword right up into its head.
You stare right as it's coming back towards you. Your sword is waiting. Jam that in there. It goes into its eyes. It tries to howl, and it falls down, sliding off your sword as it does so. Very good. Would you like to move?
Ian Faron high five.
Yeah, he would start going through the house.
All right, you can get on the other side of the house, I'll say, out the front door. That would be the warg. The warg is dead. Lan.
Okay. I guess I will try to get within range of the orc
You can, if you use your dash and then your movement, you could get to him.
to fire my crossbow.
Oh, okay, sure, if you want to do that. You could get into melee with him if you wanted with your dash and your movement.
Okay, I'll get into melee with him.
As you speed through,
Do. I give a nod to the lady as I go by. I'm like,
she seems thoroughly just
tip of the cap, and I'll say, sorry about your wall.
Ma'am.
And then I keep running.
Yeah,
Sorry about your wall, ma'am. And I'm gonna attack him with my dagger.
Go for it.
That is. I think I have this memorized by now. But that is 14. That hit. That work?
Sorry, 14?
Does 14 hit the orc?
No.
Ah,
Unfortunately.
but I'm providing moral support.
Moral support. Aelwind.
I don't get advantage to hit. However, I'm just going to pop up behind this warg and I'm going to try to hit the ogre.
You're going to use an inspirational. You
I
add
only
3 total.
have like 1 left. Hold on a second. No, I have 2. All right. Yes, I will use an inspiration.
Good job.
Okay. All right. That is 24
That's good.
to hit. And then he's in melee, so I get sneak attack. So I get 11, 14 damage.
Describe to us, please, how you put an end to the dark and twisted days of Burzgul, the wolf warrior.
I just pop up and like aiming right off of the carcass of the warg. My arrow speeds and just narrowly misses Carlum and thunks right into this orc's chest.
And he seems surprised as the arrow hits him, and he looks down and he goes, "But I am Burz.
You talk too much."
I've been told that." And he falls.
What was that? What'd you say?
Falls to the ground dead.
So noisy.
Dong. Very good.
Nice shot, Eowyn. That was amazing.
I fall to one knee, very bloodied.
Oh,
Oh, drink that golden apple cider. It also makes you feel good.
Yeah,
all got
I'll pop
one.
that.
It takes
Is
away a
it?
shadow point.
Yeah.
2d4 plus 4 plus a shadow point away. I'll still be miserable.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, I rolled 2 4s.
You're just like that. You're just a miserable.
that's pretty
kind
good. So then, yeah, that's
I get 12 hit points back and down 1 thingy bob.
Got any that really good grass, Carlum? That we like?
Yep.
Violet.
I've
will-
got.
Sorry, go ahead.
How does
No, I
that
haven't got
work
the
yet?
stuff for you to smoke, but I've got this King's Fall.
No.
you could
I
use.
mean, yeah. How does that stuff work?
It replaces a healing kit.
So that stabilizes someone.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
Okay.
I
Violet
sniff
will-
it
will
and I
come-
go, never mind.
It's not going to do the trick.
Nah.
Violet will come sort of rushing over to you, Carlum, and as you know, she'll kneel down next to you. Did he hit you with that sword? Or hold on, we have to see if one of his weapons has infected you. These damn orcs carry cursed weapons sometimes. And she, starts sort of looking at your wounds and whatnot. She goes, guess you got lucky. He wasn't carrying one of those blades. It would have been a bit difficult to cure that.
how are you? Must have been quite traumatic having one of those creatures burst through your back wall like that.
Well, I thought you were the worst of my day, but when that thing came in, I thought for sure I was a goner. And you can see that her tunic is kind of ripped a bit as she took a gash, and she's bleeding a little bit, but nothing super serious.
Man, your sons must really be deadbeats if they didn't even help you at all.
She gives you a look.
I give her a little wink, a friendly wink.
All right, well, guess you may as well come in and tell me what you're here for. I don't
We could help
suppose we
you.
could dispose of these bodies somehow. They're just gonna attract more carrion, and if he looks at you, more strangers.
Well, and we could help you fix your wall. I mean,
Well, of course you will help me fix my wall. You think I'm going to fix that on my own? You brought these things here. I have to fix my wall, and I saw it also destroyed my table and one of my chairs. You're on the hawk for that too, young lady.
yes, we will help you fix all the things, man, because we are here to help.
And get your horses out of my cabbages. As you can see, the ponies are in.
I'll get those. Sorry. They know good cabbages when they see them.
those
Get out of
cabbages
there,
are rotten.
South Lynch. Get out of there, South Lynch.
All right, let's get these bodies taken care of, and then we'll go inside, and I'll see what I can do to help you. And so you will clean up the area a little bit, and we will pick up next game what happens inside, because it'll be a bit of role-playing, and it's already late. So we will save that for next time. But you have defeated Burzgul, the orc who talked too much, and his wargs.
That's
Very
his
good.
legacy.
That's his legacy. Very good job. He didn't think he was coming here to get baptized as the orc who talked too much, but that's what he got. You never know what you get when you get here first. Thank you so much. Very good victory there. It was a little bit rough, but you managed to pull it out good. There's Violet Kell on the screen right now, looking disapproving as she usually does. Thank you so much for playing. So let's go around the table here one more time, and you can tell us all about yourself. If you have anything coming up, anything you want to plug, anywhere we can find you, please let us know. Start with Josh. One more time, Josh. Who is it? Less warm there where you are right now?
It's definitely a lot cooler now.
Nice.
It's still warm. It still requires a fan to be on, but it is a bit cooler. Yes, I am Josh. I will try to remember next session to actually use the inspirations that I have, which is a massive problem that I have with D&D in general anyway. But you can find me on Twitter, I was about to say Facebook then. No, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Devon Knight or at Devon Knight 225, depending on which one you go on. It's one of those ones. And you can also find me sometimes over at Roll Together RPG. Just search Roll Together RPG and you might see my face on something at some point.
And what a face it is. Thank you so much, Josh. And sorry to have made you miserable. It wasn't me. It was the game. Aria, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you got going on, what's happening.
Oh, I am Arya. I play Lan, the Scout Supreme, who loves to smoke pipe weed and eat snacks. And honestly, I also like to eat snacks in real life. I also like to play a lot of TTRPGs. You can find me on Twitter at Corolla_Rachel, Instagram, all sorts of other places. I'm usually on the Discord, the Guild Superior Discord. So definitely join us over there. And thanks so much for an amazing game. Very excited for next week. And nothing else to plug yet, but I'm sure there will be more things to come. So,
the big finale next week.
Plus our big finale, yes.
That's right. Thanks so much, Aria, for being here once more. Next up, I believe, is Alex. What you got cooking, Alex?
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm playing Faron, the Ranger of the North. Don't really have much to plug. I do hang out on the Guild Superior Discord channel, along with LFTA's Discord, so feel free to check out either of those, and yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much. I'm glad we could sort out the little technical issues there. You sounded and looked fantastic in the second half. So thank you for letting you use her setup.
Yeah.
And the feller of Burzgul with that incredible shot. And that shot through the kitchen was pretty good too. Ashley.
Hey everybody, I'm Ashley, Minnesota Muse 99 on Twitter. And if you liked what I did tonight, I'm back here on Tuesday for Heroes of Greyhawk, where I play a silly character who makes a lot of jokes. So come on back. Check that out for something totally different.
Totally different vibe. Thank you so much, Ashley. Yes, absolutely. It is a different vibe, but we certainly get up to a little bit more of the double entendre over there. Thank you for playing. I super appreciate it, and a good job here tonight. Our esteemed producer has been Andy, and I myself am the Bleakseason. You can find me at the Bleakseason. I have a couple of things to plug. We do have coming up a couple other things. I myself have on Saturday on the Heroes and Hooligans channel at 11 a.m. Eastern. I'm playing a one-shot with Huli, bunch of great people raising funds for the Trevor Project. We are playing Babies and Broadsword, so I'm playing a 4-year-old goblin sorcerer orphan who runs around with a rubber chicken. So, that's going to be, a thing. So please come on by and check that out if you can. And if you feel like donating, of course, the Trevor Project is an excellent place to donate to. So that's on Heroes and Hooligans on Twitch on Saturday. On Sunday, I am running on my channel, The Bleakseason, a Shadowrun game with a couple friends of mine. It is my birthday this weekend, and I am celebrating by running my all-time favorite game, Shadowrun. And there's a Shadowrun game coming to Guild Spirit also shortly in a few weeks from now, but we will be doing a one-shot that's at 7 p.m. Eastern on the twitch.tv or tv.twitch, whatever, / The Bleakseason, which is my own channel. And then, of course, next Tuesday, right back here in Mother Dave's Heroes of Greyhawk, along with Ashley and a bunch of great people. So don't forget that one. Andy will be in that one. Also, thank you, Andy, for working out here tonight. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Flan, see you there. Thanks to Amy, also Kim, and a bunch of people. We appreciate you all for watching us. We'll be back next week, Thursday, for the finale of this game. We will now raid a good friend of ours, Chaotic and Writer, who played with me last night in The Witcher. He'll be in next Wednesday when we do the second part of the Witcher game also. So thank you for hanging out with us. Stick around. Give Chaotic and Writer some good old-fashioned Guild Superior love with the emotes in his chat when we get there. And thank you for hanging out with us. We'll see you next week. Same place, same time for the finale of this game. Thank you so much. Catch you later.